business. We're striking to protest economic hardship being printed on our leader and as well on our leader Ajero NLC and TUC are saying there. Okay. My apologies for that noise in the background. As I did say, the Democrats are working on it. We were saying we should have either decide not to put programs until they sort it out. However, we said no, we cannot leave our people like that, so we have to be here with them, and that is why we are here once again. So thank you very much to each and every one of you for joining in today. But it's all coming away from Starr Radio UK. So, going on, in other stories making the rounds, Rwanda ex-doctor goes on trial in France over 1994 genocide. 68-year-old Suzanne Moyemana, who appeared at the Assize Court in Paris Tuesday, is accused of organizing torture and killings during the genocide. Other people be that wicked. Zimbabwe election campaign, opposition leader kidnapped and found dead. We didn't talk about that yesterday. And the Ethiopia Prime Minister affirms no plans for invasion over Red Sea access. And then in Ghana, Malians celebrate capture of rebel stronghold by the army. Well done to them. And Ghana calls for Africa United front on slavery reparations. Okay, I'll rest my case. I wouldn't comment about that, but it's all coming away from Starr Radio UK, your favorite African and Caribbean radio station in London. Okay, bringing you other stories that is making the rounds this morning. In other parts of the world, as you know, it is the Wednesday edition of the morning show. So we start from the front position where we are pressed with time, so we have to move on swiftly. Now, moving on straight to other stories making the rounds as well, in other parts of Ghana as well. Let me tell you what is happening there. Now, Supreme Court orders detention of police officer for shouting at Chief Justice during proceedings. Oh boy, oh boy. Well, the police officer, how come? Okay. We'll bring you more from that front as well. And curing the Starr problem, Reverend Gavin proposes revocation of one district. Well. Okay, we'll see what is going to happen on that front. But I don't think we'll have enough time today to screen or go in. Anyone in studio, we're getting that noise. Only lot is sorted out. That noise keeps coming, back to back. Needs to be sorted out. Good morning once again, everyone. We're back to the Starr Radio now. Bum 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 bum. Bum 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 bum. Dum dum dum. Dum dum dum. Dum dum. All right, wait, just 3 minutes away. My joint studio listen. We're just 3 minutes away, so let's get the TikTok on as well. Good morning once again, and welcome back to the Starr Radio UK, the morning show. Din, din, din. Perfect. Mr. Lubba. Ooh, nationwide blackout. Everywhere, darkness. Torí ọ̀rọ̀ tó ń lọ lọ́wọ́lọ́wọ́ yìí. Hey, kàn fi àjà wọn yàn ṣá. Sure, for the country.
Nationwide blackouts, Nigeria. But over to Sina. Because Sina is everywhere. Okay, Michael Godswill. Ṣé gbogbo ẹ̀ tí ó ti ń létò díẹ̀díẹ̀? Ọlọ́run jẹ́ kó létò délẹ̀. Mo kí ẹ̀yin tẹ́tí darapọ̀ mọ́ wa ní orí TikTok. Good morning, those of you that have joined us across the globe. Welcome once again. All right, let's go live on this on Facebook so that key ole jorawan. We are 1 minute away. Ahmad Darako. Egbon Tony B. Good morning. Good morning, everyone that have joined us once again. So we're going live on the Starr Radio UK in just about a few minutes. In a few minutes, we go on the Starr Radio, where we continue. Starr Radio is the morning show. Starr Radio UK. UK morning show. Èmi àti Archie. News in Nigeria náà la tún fẹ́ sọ. Àwọn oníṣẹ́ méjì. Music kan tá a máa ń sọ̀rọ̀ lé lórí náà nìyẹn. That's the only news we talk about. Good morning, Mr. Adeni Ade. Emax Media. Ó ní ẹ̀kọ́ ètò ẹ ṣé gan ni sà. Mo kí bàbá wa Láìdé Olówó 11 ti lù so I máa stop kíkì ẹ̀ nísìnyí because eléyìí ti block eléyìí. La máa wá ṣe sí báyìí. Ó dáa kí o máa gbélé wá báyìí. Ẹja gbélé wá báyìí. Ẹja gbé wá báyìí. Kó wá báyìí. Ẹ jẹ́ n gbé apple juice mi kúrò ní. Ẹ jẹ́ ká gbé American flag wá báyìí. Ó dáa pé bẹ́tà báyìí. Bang, bang, bangs. Badang, 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 badang. Good morning, everybody. So we are back again. The Carlo emblem tiwa. Kini poppy, kini temi lele. Good morning, everyone, and welcome once again. Today, our Yoruba Nation, our Yoruba Nation campaigner. So I can bear Twitter space now. So can we play Archie? It's a bit cold now, Roy, but it's not that bad. You know, 022, but when she 22, totally knocking you off. Okay, good morning. So Starr Radio, I feel better anything. Torí Starr Radio UK morning show with Archie. I'm a pé Archie nísìn. Ìwòye àná ta ni mo wà nínú òjò. Ní Lusham, ládùúgbò kan tó ń pè ní Lusham. Mo kí gbogbo ẹ̀yin tí Lusham mọ̀. Àtẹ̀rẹ́ ẹni tó kí mi ní Lusham lánàá. Kí ló dé? Ìyá mi Táíwò Kíkẹ́ Gani Olóyèdé, good morning. Ṣàlàáfíà lẹ wà. So let's join the studio now. Ká lè jẹ́ kí gbogbo ẹ̀ kó jọra wọn. Ọ̀dà kí n máa wá sí bíbá ni. Good morning, sir. Mo kí Mas B. Ìyá ti KOIKIMEDIA, ìyá ti gbowó ṣá. Wọ́n ní mo gbóyìn. Mo kí Mr. Mike Ọlá. Gbọ́n mi dáadáa. Ìyálà J. Just Reason. Ti gbogbo lẹ̀ Twitch. Ó wà pé Twitch yẹn mo máa stream látòrí ẹ̀ nígbà kan. All of a sudden ọkọ̀ block mi ni pé èwo lè lè ṣe bẹ́ẹ̀. Twitch is meant for gaming. Àwọn tó máa ń ṣe gaming ni. Ọ̀rọ̀ Yorùbá Nation ni máa lọ ń ṣe níbẹ̀ nígbà yẹn. Bó ṣe block wa nìyẹn. So I couldn't use it anymore. So Ọlámilékan ẹ̀yin tí ọjà ọ̀dàn mo kí gbogbo yín níbẹ̀. Oyeja darapọ̀ mọ́ studio àti wà 3 minutes behind schedule. Àwọn tó máa ń play game ló máa ń lo Twitch yẹn. It's a good platform as well for for streaming. But àwọn tó máa ń ṣe gaming àwọn ló máa ń sábà lò jù. Mo kí àwọn ti north. Èèyàn kan ní long time sir. Ilẹ̀ tẹ̀lé mi àlàáfíà mo wà. All right, let's join the studio and start the program. You miss me. I'm always online now. It's just that I don't come all the time, especially Tibawa Anita. I always go. You have to follow us on the other platforms as well. Good morning, everyone. So I'm joining the studio now. So I'm going to switch to my different conversation.
Well, one day you will win. Somehow it does happen, doesn't it? And this one coming away from Starr Radio UK, your favorite African and Caribbean radio station in London. What time now? 4 minutes past the top of the hour. And I know that Olayomi is in there. Nice to get in here. And therefore, wherever you are, just stay tuned and don't touch it down. It doesn't matter what challenges you might be going through. Yes, it might be daunting, it might be that serious, you might be trying to sort yourself out. You don't have even a clue. You might be even on strike as some of the labor force are on strike in Nigeria. But you know what? Some way, somehow, things will pan out. So keep on keeping on. Well, your life has not been taken by God yet. So there is hope for you. So let me say massive good morning to my colleague and representative, Mr. Olayomi Koiki. Good morning to you.
A very good morning to you back in the studio, Mr. Archie. Good morning, Frank, and good morning to all our listeners and viewers around the globe. And welcome once again. The 15th day of the month of November, 2023 is 5 minutes past 11 a.m. It is still the finest African and Caribbean radio station in London.
Yes, listeners, as I did say earlier on, yes, bear with us with what is happening with that noise. Well, the internal team have not been able to sort what is going on, but we have got the external team that will be joining this afternoon to try to see whether they can resolve that for us. So just bear with us. But it's all coming away from the North Favorite African and Caribbean radio station in London. And nice to have you all on the various platforms that you are listening to us from our North London studio. Just so like I'm Archie here, and we bring you everything that you need to know. How are you? How is the family?
Well, we're doing very well. The family is great. Like you always ask, we're grateful that we still have, the family, living in a society that respect, almost everything that you can think of, especially when it comes to education, which we quite value mostly as well in Africa. But it seems that that is not really kicking in. Also, when it comes to, you talked about Benga Dana, we're going to tell you a little bit more about him this morning. He was a former governor of Ogun State in 2003, 2011. That is now asking Nigerians to go back to farm. So the family are doing very well, and our OPLs are doing great as well.
Well, yes, by the grace of God, everyone is doing well. We thank God. Okay, and we thank God that every one of you on the platform of Nigeria has not happened to you, as I did say earlier on, even if you are going through some challenging times. So hold on to it. Who knows? Yes, thank you very much. Okay. Now, behind you have the picture of the president, and is it the vice president?
That's our new minister for information.
Okay. Hey, Chetima, please, I beg you, don't with me. I just want I understood. This is the minister for information. But let's go to what the NLC has said in the Nigeria Labour Council and the various unions, trade unions. Interestingly, they are referring the government. Now, you know what? You don't obey the laws. You don't obey court rulings. So why do you think that we have to also obey it? So, it's virtually a stalemate. Or are they going to be forcing them and sending the DSS there to go and apprehend the Labour leader there, the NLC leader there? What exactly is happening, Joby?
Well, I think, the president, like we said yesterday, would like to, take extra, precaution because, we're talking about a union that has a lot of members, we're talking about a union that gives others and workers listen, even though there might be division, there might be some state that literally might want to do otherwise. But when we talk about the Nigerian Labour Congress, it's been a very, very powerful union, even though we believe that sometimes there might be a little bit of a compromise there and there. But again, the purpose of the NLC and the TUC is to support workers, especially in a very dire economic situation presently in Nigeria, that many workers are struggling. I'm going to try and get a young Nigerian talking about being an asthmatic patient, but unfortunately trying to get the drugs that is needed. We talked about the diabetics yesterday. We're now talking about an asthmatic patient that they are now struggling. Let's come back to court orders. Does the federal government obey court order? I don't think so. Even this new administration, we've seen the lapses when it comes to judiciary. Many Nigerians might not understand that, investors looked at all these before they might think of investing in a country that the judiciary might not work on their behalf. So this morning, the headline, you don't obey court orders. The Labour knocks federal government. According to the TUC, president said the organized labor was not served any restraining order not to proceed with the ongoing industrial action. With the nationwide industrial action declared by the Nigerian Labour Congress, and the trade union is now entering the second day. Day one day. We're going to be talking about this later on Niger Voices. This is an indefinite strike that is now going on. The organized labor has said that no court order was received from the federal government or any of its party not to proceed, just like the court refused the order to release Emefiele until there was more pressure. The court order that asked Nnamdi Kanu to be released after rendition and kidnapped from Kenya by the former president and the vice president, Yemi Osinbajo, the court refused to obey. The same court order, while those 12 were moved from Soka to Abuja, court ordered them to be released, but it took a lot of fight. So you can imagine now that the federal government is talking about court order, and the labor says, you might want to keep quiet on that. You don't even obey court order as well.
Now, interestingly, I know that we're going to be discussing it in detail during the Niger Voices. And I tell you, listeners, whatever happens, the Niger Voices, the sound will be perfect. Okay? That one I can assure you is going to be perfect. So don't you worry about it. But just bear with us while yes, Yomi will give you that sound right there. But Yomi, when did the court rule the first time that labor should avoid going on strike? And what was the period for? Was it an indefinite thing that the court has ruled that the Labour Congress can or the labor unions can never go on strike, or it was meant for a particular time?
Well, there has been some court since the new administration on the May 9. The Labour and the presidency have been head to head, and they've been trying to make sure that this strike doesn't go ahead. But it seems that the failure of the government, because this is also one of the reasons why they've come out quickly. You earlier the National Security Agency, NSA Ribadu, the same Ribadu that told us yesterday that the former president Muhammadu Buhari bankrupted Nigeria, and we hope that he will be arrested and he will be questioned, and he will then be face the reason why under his belt for 8 years Nigeria went into bankruptcy. But it seems that the NSA is now regretting assault on the NLC. Let me repeat that again. The NSA is the National Security Agency, is now regretting not doing something quicker, on the assault on the president of the National Labour Congress, says suspects have now been arrested. Is it because that the strike has went ahead? I hope they've not arrested, an innocent passerby, which we know that happened all the time in Nigeria. But the National Security Advisor, Nuru Ribadu, yesterday said investigation has commenced into the assault on the president of the Nigeria that is on the screen, to the left-hand side next to the President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, Joe Ajero. The NSA also said some suspects have been arrested in connection with what took place in Owerri in Imo State on the 1st of November. But the Labour has already embarked on a nationwide strike that has now gone into the second day to seek justice over an assault on Ajero, who was attacked when he was about to lead a protest against alleged anti-Labour practice by the current governor of Imo State, Opus Odimo, that won his election over the weekend.
Well, listen, Starr, I know that Yomi is going to discuss the labor strikes in Nigeria comprehensively, so bear with us. We'll move more details about that. But when it comes to Ajaro's, the assault on Ajaro, how severe was it? Was it a minor thing or severe?
It was a big threat, to his life. I saw the video, and again, it's just, I mean, to some of us, you ask the question, he actually said that the police, actually, gave him to the lion. I mean, it's like giving the goat to the lion. So it was actually pushed to the thugs that works for the governor of Imo State, Opus Odima, that allowed them to beat him to stupid, and then eventually he was moved to the hospital. And it seems that, again, the question is, how do we have respect for humanity? In governance, you have to agree and disagree. We saw what took place in UK, where we've now sacked, the Home Secretary, Breville Sullivan, for utterances when it comes to, police being biased. But it seems that police are not biased. If you're not in love with the politics, you're likely to be kept into the same dungeon with the criminals to be dealt with.
Well, listeners, it's updates from Nigeria with Mr. Olayomi. I'm Archie here in the South Studios, and we are bringing you everything that you need to know. Let me say good morning to Anthony Adedoji, and thumbs up to you, and lot of love to you as well. Okay, now let's move on to some of the other stories. Daniel, that was why I was asking him. You said he was a former minister or something.
Former governor of Ogun State in 2003-2011.
Okay, so a former governor of Ogun State, 2003-2011, saying that, well, go back to the farms. Now, why have the people decided not to go to the farms? We know that Chief Sunday, Dr. Chief Sunday, one of the things that people in their communities were being rampaged, killed, and their farms being destroyed by terrorists. Okay? And he was trying to raise the point that we are not going to be taking this lying down. We're going to be rising up to be fighting against them. But nothing of the sort that happened. He never pushed anybody. He never took any guns. None. That happened, as far as I'm concerned. Okay? But, so people have decided not to go because the government wasn't giving them the necessary protection or shutting those who were perpetrating this act. But now we have the former governor saying, go back to the farms. What is he talking about?
Well, he's not just even a former governor. He's now currently also the senator, senatorial east of Ogun State. He was born in 1956. These are people that had the privilege, to enjoy farming where, terrorists was not attacking them, moving from point A to B. And I'm sure as at the time Benga Daniel was growing up, when he was born, there was not kind of atrocity that is now taking place across Nigeria. Let me first take you through before we go back to Genga Dano. I mean, we're talking about Zamfara State. I have to now harvest, if I just take about a few minutes off.
Okay. Let's bear with us whilst Yomi that's that. Some new things out there. But wherever you are, Starr, when you look in your favorite African and Caribbean radio station in London. So what you want somebody to say that, you know what? They want you guys to go back to the farms. Now, he's a senator, right? Now, he's supposed to know that the necessary tools or security issues have been addressed before people will have that assurance or reassurance that they need to go to their farms or will be secure when they go to their farms. But it's not the case. That's not what is happening here. So all that we are saying is that somebody's sitting there, you can go to your farms and go and farm so that we can let them know. But what about the Fulani medics, the headsmen there, and everything that they are doing? What about that? What has he said about that? Well, I'm going to move back. So for him to tell us more. What do you know?
Yeah, let's take you to Zamfara State. Just yesterday, one of the headline coming out: Nigerian farmers now forced to harvest crops before due date in Zamfara community over farm invasion, killings by the terrorists and the armed herders as well. According to the report, farmers in some communities in Zamfara State, northwest Nigeria, have resorted to harvesting their produce before the due time, owing to persistent by the armed herders on their farmland. Benga Daniel says in one of the events that took place, in Ogun State, that the former governor is now asking Nigerians to get back to farming for the country to become one of the world's top producers of rice. The question again is, what was his own input as the governor of Ogun State in 2003 to 2011? Did he produce as many farmers that we can talk about today? But it seems that Benga Daniel spoke during the event in Shagamu at the opening of a training workshop. He also went further to say President Bola Tinubu-led administration is dedicated to elevating Nigeria to the status of one of the world's top producers of rice. How he's going to do that with the insecurity. Let's talk about what took place in Shakberi in Oyo State in less than few days ago. Many killings, and this has got to do again with the Boko Haram terrorists attacking innocent farmers in those communities. The senator, while acknowledging that Nigeria has a great potential in rice cultivation and production, says it is necessary for the citizens to rekindle their interest in farming to meet the local consumption and also generate foreign exchange for the nation.
Now, when some of those people talk, it is like
they're not living in the real world.
Yeah, because you see what is happening there. That needs to be addressed. You don't sort that all out, but you can just sit in your office in your chair, rolling around in your air conditioning, getting all the money stuff. Those workers, those farmers, and those people are using their money to pay you, and then you make that statement. Maybe it's here. I think by this time it's here to be rolling. Oh well, it's Nigeria.
They don't resign in Nigeria.
Well, you can have your message discussions as we are here looking at everything that is happening. But it's all having your way from Starr Radio UK, your favorite African and Caribbean radio station in London. Yesterday we looked at on the corruption of the bankruptcy or the bankrupt team of Nigeria by the what do you call it, the Buhari administration. Now, it's not, after I know we talked about it yesterday and it's died down, but it looks like it's still going on. Are they ready to call former President Buhari, or because he said that if you dare attack him, he's going to call Nigerians?
Well, he can't go to Nigeria because Nigeria doesn't have any. We already closed the border on Buhari. Buhari is going nowhere. You'll probably end up in the UK, and probably maybe the National Crime Agency will go after him just like we went after Designy. Well, you're quite right. I mean, it's quite important that under the belt of the former President Muhammadu Buhari for 8 years, we were talking about so many things that went wrong, but we can now confirm, just as the National Security Advisor Nuru Ribadu says, under the belt of President Muhammadu Buhari, the country was totally collapsed. Well, the question then is, would Buhari be called, to questioning? Will he be, brought forward? Nobody knows. But like you said, that is not going anywhere, as many Nigerians, it's still coming out in some of the many headlines, dailies coming out of Nigeria, this morning as well. But one thing is, we know that Tinubu had a lot of relationship as the one that brought in Buhari in 2015. After Buhari tried it a few times, he failed. He couldn't get himself together under the CPC. Tinubu decided, well, let's tell you and teach you how politics is played. Eventually the collapse of the CPC into one body led to Buhari becoming the president. But as we speak right now, the country is going through a lot of difficulties. I was listening to the president team yesterday in Saudi Arabia. A $50 billion, not for Nigeria, is for the whole Africa, by the Saudi group there, but they're going to be giving large chunk of that as a loan to Nigeria as well. Again, this morning, the Central Bank of Nigeria extend validity of the old Naira note indefinitely, so you can still keep using it. But one thing is, election is over. It is time to reform economy now. NAPAN tells President Bola Tinubu. The Newspaper Proprietary Association of Nigeria have called on President Bola Tinubu, federal government, to move speedily with his economy reform program, saying elections are over, but it seems that Nururi Badu is saying that Tinubu hands are now tied because Nigeria is bankrupt.
Now, is it that, I ask you, is it inefficiency from the government of Buhari, or is it some cabal? Because we knew that Buhari was he was the one trying to fight corruption and all that stuff that he was saying that he was going to fight corruption. We remember the right.
Don't believe all that, Mr. Archie. When politicians are telling you that we are fighting corruption, they are the most corrupt as well. We've seen dossier and evidence of how the mismanagement of the forex. Remember that the foreign reserve started going down like it's dancing yo-yo. But like you said, the question is, what are the indices? What was Buhari doing with the money? Even evidence says now that some of the OPL, the oil that we have, has been used to borrow money in advance. So we are now literally struggling as a country, to move forward when it comes to Buhari borrowed a lot. Borrowing is not a problem as long as what we are borrowing can be used properly as well. But one thing that we've borrowed for now is the Nigeria, which is about $2 billion, is currently stuck because Nigeria do not have any cordial relationship anymore with Niger. But again, there's so many other areas as well. So going back to what the Newspaper Proprietors Association are saying this morning, the association in a communique signed by its president, Malam Yusuf Kabiru, and the general secretary, Mrs. Angela Emua, after its 2023 annual general meeting that was held on the 8th of November at the Secretariat in Maryland, Lagos, called on government to provide much needed support to the long suffering of Nigerians. Many Nigerians are suffering today. Benga Daniel says we should go back to farm. Many Nigerians want to go back to farm, but they are being attacked. The economy is not doing very well. As we speak this morning, the dollar is still almost 1,000 plus to the dollar, almost 1,400 as at yesterday to the pound. The exchange rate is not helping. Many of us that are outside might be taking advantage of it, but in reserve, going back to those in Nigeria, the inflation is quite high. I talked about the 30% increase, next month. As we speak right now, it's about 26.6%, from the National Bureau of Statistics. So Nigerians are really, really struggling to get things together as we speak right now. Once again, I'll come back again to you in the studio, Mr. Archie.
Listeners, sorry, we're getting enough numbers to do so much here in the South Studio, so we're bringing you updates from Nigeria. On the Wednesday edition of the morning show, I'll hand over to him in a moment. But, so what has been the reaction from the Buhari quarters? Has any of, we had Lai Mohammed and all those people who are spewing all sorts. Now, has any of them come out to say, or decline that statement that has been made?
Well, I was waiting for Garba Shehu, because I know Garba Shehu is one man that always, protect, Buhari, but he hasn't said anything yet. But as soon as probably maybe before the Niger Voice says, maybe Garba Shehu would say something. But for now, Garba Shehu has not said anything when it comes to, Buhari being now accused of bankrupting Nigeria, by the present administration.
Well, maybe by the time we have Niger Voices, there would have been a response. If not, and the DSS, the EFCC, and all those bodies getting themselves ready, raising their boots up to go after Buhari and his henchmen, as I did ask. Well, you want to know more? You have to make sure that your dials are logged on Starr Ready, okay? Exactly at 18 hours, that with GMT, right? Okay. Or 17 hours if you are in Nigeria. That is, no, it will be
1900 hours, yes.
1900 hours in Nigeria. That is 7 p.m. in Nigeria. But GMT is going to be 18 hours. All right, then. So let's go back to Yomi for the rest of the story.
28 minutes past, we're taking straight to more of those headlines coming out of Nigeria this morning. Quite a lot, when it comes to Nigeria. There's a lot of things happening simultaneously, from politics to business, to corrupt. Straight to Ogun State again, and the current Senator Gbenga Daniel that we've been talking. The strike is having a big toll. As darkness continues to kick in a country that doesn't have a full 24 hours electricity. Remember that, the NLC protest means that I was speaking to one of our team in Ekiti State. Returning home, he said that there is no electricity due to the NLC strike. Patients are now stranded, staff chased out of Ogun Teaching Hospital. Patient at Olabisi Onabanjo University Teaching Hospital, Shagamu, the same location that Gbenga Dana was speaking. Maybe you should have talked about that more. On Wednesday, are left unattended to by doctors and nurses. This is as the staff of the hospital comply with the directives of the Nigeria Labour Congress and the trade union that workers should embark on an indefinite strike. So you can see that as much as, nobody wants to see a situation where, hospital is shut down, services are no longer available for the masses that are already struggling. We talked about the young man that is now crying for the cost of, drugs for someone that has asthmatic, patient. But again, it has to do with the government doing what it has to do to make sure that such strike does not happen in the first place. But again, doctors, nurses, midwives, laboratory officials, record keepers, and the other staff of the Olabisi Onabanjo University Teaching Hospital were seen returning home saying, "We have joined the strike, no work today." So what a very sad situation as we speak right now. Many of those of you traveling will be affected as well. And let's take you straight to some of the other headline as well. Once again, this is still Star Radio UK. I'm just getting a breaking news. A Nigerian rapper, Oladips, is dead. A Nigerian pop star, Olabode Oladimeji, more popular as Oladips, has died. According to a statement that was posted on his IG, he passed away at exactly 10:14 p.m. yesterday. May so rest in peace. In the late hours of yesterday, videos made rounds on social media of the Lala Kuku Corona seen to have collapsed as his friends surrounded him. Before the video started to circulate, Oladips had taken to his Instagram story to cry out for help. In the post, he mentioned one of his friends and asked where he was. The rapper complained about how he had tried to reach the friend on the phone several times, and they knew he didn't alone in the house, especially with his condition. The statement noted that Oladips had kept his battle within himself for over 2 years. Oladips' body is now with his family, and the funeral plan will be announced. We pray for him, just as we continue to hope that justice will come for Mohbad as well. Let's go straight to some of the other headlines as well. This is still the Star Radio UK, the finest African and Caribbean radio station in London, as we go into some of the other headlines. Atiku calls for merger of opposition parties to challenge APC. Well, it seems that Atiku wants to do the same which Tinubu did to bring in Buhari in 2015, but he will have to wait till 2027. The presidential aspirant of the PDP, People's Democratic Party in 2023, Alhaji Atiku Abubakar, said yesterday when he hosted the National Executive Committee of the Inter-Party Advisory Council. The former Vice President Atiku Abubakar believes the merger of Nigerians' opposition parties will help in forming a stronger front against the ruling of APC. Well, he couldn't even sort out his internal party crisis. 5 governors from Makinde to Wike refused to back Atiku at this loss of his presidential ambition. He couldn't even step down, or he couldn't agree with Peter Obi. Peter Obi eventually merged away and went to become the Obedient. But eventually, it seems that Atiku says that in 2023, for him now, it seems that they have to come together so that they can be able to win the next election. Well, that will be in the next 3.5 years for now. Nigerians Eileen Williams set a world record for the longest handmade wig. That's quite an interesting one. It seems that many Nigerians still want to set the world record, but it seems that Hilda Bassey lost as the longest cooking has now been taken away from him. Oshiomhole doesn't have the sufficient information, strike not a political. That is coming from what Ajaro went to do in a way it was not political. It seems that, remember, Oshiomhole was also one time the National Union of Labour member, a president rather, the president of the Trade Union Congress, Festus Osifo, on Wednesday took a strike at the former president of the Nigerian Labour Congress himself, Adams Oshiomhole, for criticizing the ongoing industrial action by the organized labor over an attack on the present NLC leader, Joe Ajaro. Well, it seems that maybe this Ajaro wants to be the next governor as well. Who knows? But we'll have to wait and see. I think Adams Oshiomhole, doesn't have sufficient info because he's busy with the national politics as well. Let's take two more. We're still wondering what went wrong between 177 Nigerians that have now been returned from Saudi Arabia. But again, the Saudi refused to allow them to get into the country. As we talked about the aircraft, we talked about the aviation industry. It seems that, again, we take you to Rivers State. 62 passengers escaped death as the aircraft skid off the runway in Rivers State. It was just on Sunday last week, we talked about one that skid at the Abuja runway. At least 62 passengers escaped death yesterday as an aircraft belonging to the Nigerian airline Value Jet skid off the runway at the Port Harcourt International Airport in Rivers State. The incident caused panic among the passengers in the oil-rich state after the jet reportedly landed at about 1500 hours, and the passengers and the 5 flight crew members were all on board. The Port Harcourt International Airport is situated at Omagua, Ikuwere local government area of the Rivers State, a state that is blessed with vast amount of crude oil. Is one of the, apart from Lagos State, you'll be talking about Rivers State, but it is just as every state, they are not interested in making sure that safety is their top priority. We're talking about flights that are just less than 1 hour. You might even be better off to travel to Australia because it is not just only cheap, it is even much more cheaper than going to Nigeria. I was listening to a brother that traveled to Australia from London, and he says he paid less than £1,000 to Australia. He would have paid more going to Nigeria, that is just 6 hours. He was questioning the BA and the Virgin director why he has to pay less to travel to Australia. That is about 14 hours from Luton, as against 6 hours to Lagos or Abuja, and you have to pay more. It shows again, a country like Nigeria is no longer as respected as we might think. But as we talk about the Saudi government pledge to invest in Nigeria refinery and also support the CBN and the federal government, the Nigeria has 3 refineries. None is in operational while we wait for the Dangote refinery that was commissioned earlier this year. The facility is yet to commence operation as well. But the Saudi Arabian government has now promised to invest in revamping of the Nigerian refinery, according to the Minister of Information and Communication, this time around, not Lai Mohammed, but Idris Mohammed. I hope it's not the same Lai Mohammed that we had for a very long time during Buhari, that kept on telling Nigerians that everything was just perfect. Until now, we knew that Lai Mohammed was the biggest liar, because we are now being told that the bankruptcy of Nigeria today happened under the belt of the former president, under the same cabinet, Lai Mohammed and the rest of them as well. So you can tell that, lies continue to be put upon lies, and I don't know why we're getting such. So because of the time constraint, I'm going to go straight to the social media, come back again to you in the studio, but at 1800 hours, the focus is, how soon will Nigeria be able to enjoy, going back to all the services with the strike going on, with the federal government do whatever it can do to save many as well. I saw, a cartoon that was put together yesterday. Let's see if we can bring that up. That was put together by Steve Hank, on Bola Tinubu's government. And that, I've got it right here. And let's see if I can tell you what exactly was written underneath as well as we go into the social media. Steve Hank is the professor of applied economics with about almost 678,000 followers on the X page. Yesterday, he talked about a lot from country to country, from Ghana. This morning, 2 hours ago, he says, the Nigerian Naira is history. The Central Bank of Nigeria should be mothballed and put in the museum to save the Naira, should install a currency board like the one it had from 1912 to 1959. And what is actually saying that even as at 1912, Nigeria was not yet amalgamated. And we know that the CBN Act came in 1958, 2 years before the current CBN Act was operating. But yesterday again, he posted, which I'm going to read out before we move into what is trending on the X this morning. Once again, this is still the finest African and Caribbean radio station in London. Well, he actually talked about the Ghana one. He says Ghana is the largest debtor in Africa to the IMF. President Akufo-Addo is making yet another deal with the devil. Interesting time ahead. What he says are called President Bola Tinubu's requested $2.8 billion in extra funding for the urgent issues has been approved by lawmakers. It includes, among other things, funds for yacht, air fleet, renovations of the presidential quarters. Tinubu's Nigeria equals waste, fraud, and abuse. Interesting time ahead. So what is actually trending at 11:39 this morning? It seems Kaduna is trending at about 11,000. Not too sure what is going on in Kaduna. Funke Akindele, I know she's an actress that wanted to be the deputy governor in Lagos State, but eventually they lost out. I'm not sure why she's trending under entertainment this morning. Mohbad is trending as well this morning, and we can tell that Obedient is trending. But Buhari is still the biggest trending in Nigeria this morning, and I'm sure it's got to do with what took place. So let's look at what at Morris_Moye says. So these people know that the country is bankrupt and they are buying yacht and billion-naira SUV. Meanwhile, Ribadu said we are bankrupt. Buhari quickly invited NTA for interview. Well, it seems that Buhari has had an interview. Have it here, maybe we might have it before 1800 hours. As president, he had never had a single presidential media chat with NTA. Hosseini Rufai said, they play now, they blame Buhari, Buhari said they blame Jonathan. Chidi Odenaku say, congratulations to official APC. And it seems that Buhari is being battered. And the last one is coming from Big Week also say, Buhari left Nigeria's debt at 77 trillion. Tinubu has moved it now to 87 trillion in just 5 months. While you are supporting and standing by the mandate, make you day aware of that statistics. Wow.
Interesting what is happening. But I hope that tomorrow we'll be able to bring the Buhari's interview with NTA.
But the question is, he was never interested in granting interviews. So what could lead to this interview, in NTA now? I mean, he had NTA in his pocket for 8 years, and we were to come and speak to us, but he doesn't want to. But right now, it seems that Buhari has something to say. To remove the nama in his mouth.
Let me say thank you very much. He says he said there's been blackout since Monday night to today in Alimusho, LGA, Lagos. Everywhere blackout to today. 3 days blackout, still counting. And he goes on and says Saudi Arabia deports Nigerian, Germany, deports Nigerians also. The rest is UK, Japan, USA, and Canada. Okay, so he's saying that it's all peculiar to Nigeria. Nigerians will be sent back home from nations around the world, and some of the Nigerian personal financial accounts will be frozen and taken. I've said these as at last year. Well, if you have a president who is said to have been forged his certificate, then don't think that everybody who has a certificate might have done something. There is something dirty. But well, the Supreme Court has ruled that he is a president, so we are quiet about that. It will be more obvious from next year, 2024. Somebody additional is predicting that one again. It is indirect response from international organization to break the SO country called Nigeria. So you say, I say SO. Yes. And then he says, 1,250 naira, $1 this morning. Nigeria. How market? Okay, finally he said 1,000 naira gives 460 silver in Benin Republic border. Nigeria, how market to Nigeria owing Benin Republic also. It remains a question. Wow, if Nigeria is owing Benin, then that is a big.
And the good news coming for those of us that are, I mean, those that are still going through whatever immigration or, asylum seekers, from the Supreme Court says government plan to deport asylum seeker to Rwanda is unlawful. Could that be because we've removed Sullivan Braveman? So it seems that nobody's will be going to Rwanda anytime soon. Well, we focus again on the NLC, has the government done enough before allowing this protest to go ahead, or was the government just to delay for allowing that protest to go ahead now that it's now gone into the second day? How soon should we have that coming back? So the focus is going to be NLC indefinite strike this evening. I remember my mom got caught up some few years back during Jonathan. We couldn't get her back to UK as quickly as possible because no flight was flying in and out. So it seems that the second day is still something the government can discuss and bring it down to a conclusion. If otherwise it goes the third, fourth day, you can imagine what Nigerians will be reacting on. From my information, the president, as at Monday, was still in Saudi Arabia after he had his own, lesser Hajj. As most of the time they travel to Saudi Arabia, they have the lesser Hajj. But I can tell you that that is the information I have. I know that the president doesn't give that information. It's not like Europe, where your president or your prime minister is. I hope he's not having a stopover in France for any kind of business dealing or medical treatment. But the last update, and this is coming now from the official page of the president, on November 11, I joined the key government and business leaders today at the Saudi, and that's all the way, at the investment roundtable in Riyadh, and nothing more than that. So nobody knows where the president is. So now it's still a ghost until it surfaces again. The president, we have information from the president saying that maybe he's back to Nigeria because of what is happening in Nigeria at the moment. The NLC strike, it goes on for a week. Boy, oh boy, the loss. Thank you very much and see you later. Bye for now, Mr. Archie. Well, listeners, we are pressed with time, so I'm going to just crack on straight. But let me say thank you very much to Mr. Olayomi and to every one of you who was posting comments and those who were with us on the various platforms. I salute you. But I promise you, whatever happens, whether even the engineers are able to do something. Oh, Nigeria. One bastard country. I go find something, I go chop and start getting ready for studio. It's another long day. Can you time me see? 11:46. We can still do 1 or 2, probably maybe just under 1 hour. Take actually 1 hour there. I think I should open the phone line. What do you think? I gotta switch things around. I gotta stop this. I enter Olayomi Koiki. Hello, join the KOIKIMEDIA or the other platforms. Let me open the phone line. I can go live on the KOIKIMEDIA now. We encourage you to join us all the time, because we just want you to join us. We love you. Join us so that you don't miss anything. So what I'm going to do, I end. So I'm going to end this because if we pick the Starr Radio alone to go on the backup on the KOIKIMEDIA. So I'm going to go live on the KOIKIMEDIA now. I'm going to stop this so that I'll download it. Then I'm going to come back on again on this quickly so you won't miss too much. And probably we just do probably less than an hour and then we'll start again. Should we do that? So let's end this. I'm going to end this as well. Open the phone line. The one I've done in the morning, I want to get your views on that, your opinion on that, so that way we balance the conversation. So that common man sorrow. We still talk on the Benga Daniel. Jagba Ton Solen, the Benga Daniel is telling you nonsense. So let me stop this and I'll come back straight away. So Moki Bugwalen can say very good morning. As Now I think I got kí ló tó wá pa èmi ò mọ ta ni rapper yìí wọ́n ní Ọlá Dips. How many of you know him? You know, show sick tẹ́lẹ̀ ni kọ́lọ́ máa foríjì kẹ́. What a very sad situation. Show sick tẹ́lẹ̀ ni kìíní kan Nigerian rapper Ọlá Dips, popularly known as Ọládipúpọ̀, Ọlábọ̀dé Ọládìméjì. Orin wo Làkúkú Lálà, ṣé òun ló kọ Làkúkú Lálà ni? Not sure. On the social media of Làkúkú Lálà, kọ́lọ́ máa foríjì kẹ́. Not sure. Ikú náà ni the final. So kò sọ́gbọ́n ẹ̀. Sẹ̀sẹ̀ tó ní kú. Kọ́lọ́ fún alẹ́ mi gúngún. Saudi náà fẹ́ invest, clear to invest in our refinery. Do you believe that? Do you believe that? Mo kí ẹ̀gbọ́n mi Ọláwálé Ọlábí. Saudi náà fẹ́ invest. But you see too many things, Loris. Kí system go slow there. So let me cut it down a little bit. Saudi náà fẹ́ invest nínú refinery wa. Nigerian government pẹ̀lú rọ́. Irọ́ ti báyé wọn jẹ́. Transition Company TLC has condemned an online report attributed to its head of fears that there will be national blackout on the account of ongoing nationwide strike. Ṣé fáwọn èèyàn níná tẹ́lẹ̀ ni? Idiot. Fáwọn èèyàn níná náà. Fáwọn èèyàn níná náà, so ṣàparọ́ mọ́ yín ni. Ta ló níná ládùúgbò wọn láti àná? Kí ló lè pa bọ̀bọ̀ iná? Má ṣe o. Buhari ti sọ ó yẹ ká lọ mú K1 the ultimate náà because òun ló ní Buhari ti sọ̀rọ̀. Mo ní láti pa ilé because mo ní the phone ẹ̀yin tẹ́ wà lórí bíbá ẹjọ́ ẹ bá darapọ̀ mọ́ Olayomi Koiki aṣọ. I gotta end this now. Ẹ ṣé gan ni. Tokyo 778. Ta ló tún wà níbẹ̀ Mr. Kani. Please join us on the KOIKIMEDIA on Instagram. Thank you so much. Buhari ti sọ̀rọ̀ ẹ ti gbọ́. Ó dà kí mo sì lórin yẹn lọ́wọ́ ẹ jẹ́ ká lọ wá jáde wá tí mo bá ń prepare. Mo kí gbogbo ẹ̀yin yá wa mo lè kí dáadáa nísìn because lẹ́ǹkan yẹn a kò ṣe fast ní ara yìí kí. So we're gonna go live on the KOIKIMEDIA itself. Buhari ti sọ̀rọ̀ a ti gbọ́. Bọ̀bọ̀ kan lọ́nà kù ń tẹ̀dà gan sẹ̀. Àṣìó. Bá mo ṣe fẹ́ fi picture wọ̀nyí nísìn. Okay, mo yìí. Software tá kì í lò yìí. Wọ́n pè ní Nigerian rapper Ọládipọ̀ Ọlá Dips. He's only 28 years old. Kí ni mo ṣe sọ láàárọ̀ yìí? Kọ́lọ́n fi kú kẹ́. Kí ni mo ṣe sọ láàárọ̀ yìí? Mo ní wọ́n ní 50 kí ni mo pé life expectancy in Nigeria. Àárọ̀ yìí la ṣe ń sọ àbí? Abẹ́tí gbàgbé. You know we talked about life expectancy. Tá bá ń sọ̀rọ̀, 52 years old. Arákùnrin tó kò ní sìn. People die as well abroad, but 52 mo ṣe sọ láàárọ̀ yìí nínú program. Mo ń bọ̀ jẹ́ kí n kọ́kọ́ gbá sí fún yín ká kọ́kọ́ máa gbọ́ Buhari ti sọ̀rọ̀ náà. Kọ́lọ́n forí ìjì kó fọ̀rùn kẹ́ 28 years old. Ó ṣẹ̀ṣẹ̀ bẹ̀rẹ̀ ayé jẹ́ irọ́. Okay, yeah, ká play anthem wọn náà kókó. I started this YouTube properly. Kí ló dé tó ń rò bí yóyò báyìí? Ẹ jẹ́ ká lọ wá ó náà pé mo ní orin yẹn Buhari ti sọ̀rọ̀ tí n bá ti delete ẹ̀. Ó yẹ ká lọ gbé Wàsíù náà báyìí ni o. Ẹ ká sì gbọ́ ilé náà. Mo rò pé mo ní níbí báyìí.
Ọlọ́run ni mo ti bẹ́ẹ̀ fún yẹn o. Gbogbo nǹkan tó lọ fún bàbá mi láyé kò fún bàbá mi ò tí ì yọ̀ǹda mẹ́sàn-án fún mi ń bẹ̀ ó kọ̀ mi ju ti bàbá mi lọ. Gbogbo àti bọ́lá mo lọ sí bàbá mi ojú wo ni mọ́kàn mọ́ dàkọ̀ mi nìkan àyídà kẹ́ sọ́n dáadáa tàbí kẹ́ sọ́n burúkú ẹ̀ sàṣọ kan omi lọ́lọ́run fún. Bí n bá sì kú lè gbà sí mi ṣe. Ọlọ́run ni mo ti bẹ́ẹ̀ fún yẹn o. Gbogbo nǹkan tó lọ fún bàbá mi láyé kò fún bàbá mi ò tí ì yọ̀ǹda mẹ́sàn-án fún mi ń bẹ̀ ó kọ̀ mi ju ti bàbá mi lọ. Gbogbo àti bọ́lá mo lọ sí bàbá mi ojú wo ni mọ́kàn mọ́ dàkọ̀ mi nìkan àyídà kẹ́ sọ́n dáadáa tàbí kẹ́ sọ́n burúkú ẹ̀ sàṣọ kan omi lọ́lọ́run fún. Bí n bá sì kú lè gbà sí mi ṣe. Ọlọ́run
ṣe bẹ́ẹ̀ ẹja gbẹ́lẹ̀ náà.
Wọ́n sọ̀rọ̀ bí ọ̀rọ̀ epo àwọn á di 200 á di bàbá. Ẹ fọkàn balẹ̀ a máa gbé wálẹ̀. Ẹ lọ fọkàn balẹ̀ ẹ lọ fọkàn balẹ̀ ẹ lọ fọkàn balẹ̀. Wọ́n sọ̀rọ̀ bí ọ̀rọ̀ epo àwọn á di 200 á di bàbá. Ẹ fọkàn balẹ̀ a máa gbé wálẹ̀. Ẹ lọ fọkàn balẹ̀ ẹ lọ fọkàn balẹ̀ ẹ lọ fọkàn balẹ̀.
Ṣé ti fọkàn balẹ̀ báyìí nísìn àbẹ́ẹ̀ ti fọkàn balẹ̀ ṣé ti fi ọkàn balẹ̀ mo kí ní ọ̀dọ̀ yín lọ́hùn kí lágó wí ẹ̀yin ti tòkè lọ́hùn grammar First Bank ṣé dáadáa lè jí mà ẹ ti fọkàn balẹ̀ báyìí. Our politicians they are criminals ni wọ́n irọ́ ti pọ̀ jù. He shall not be well with his enemy. It shall not be well with Nigeria. It shall be well with Nigeria. Nigeria will happen to you. There was a lot of killings that took place, yesterday. A lot of killings, Ẹ ti fọkàn balẹ̀, grandma náà ti fọkàn balẹ̀, Mr. Koiki. Ẹ lọ fọkàn balẹ̀, a máa mú wálẹ̀. Tinubu said, we'll go put our mind at rest. Everything will be fine. The question is everything fine in Nigeria right now? Is everything fine? Is everything fine in Nigeria? Everything is not fine at all. Things are becoming very difficult. Ṣé ká ṣe fọkàn balẹ̀? Ẹ̀yin APC mbọlẹ̀ wà, ẹ wá bá mi sọ̀rọ̀. Mo fẹ́ kẹ́ pè wọlé sórí program láàárọ̀ yìí. Gbogbo àwọn APC mo tẹ̀ bínú láàárọ̀ yìí. If you're a member of the APC or you're a member of the ruling party, I want you to call into the program. +44 74 044 05917. WhatsApp only. Ẹ wá bá wa sọ̀rọ̀. Ṣé ká ṣe fọkàn balẹ̀? Should we put our mind at rest that Tinubu still have? Well, it looks like no more bank account. Okay, yes, definitely, yeah. Okay, they were on me. Should we ṣé ká fi ọkàn balẹ̀? Mr. Yes, very difficult. Gone new. Honorable Samuel, only Baba Koiki, I hail you. If you know, King. Now we have callers. So I got a back call. If you know, Monica, when you put so I got back call. Hello, fucking ballet. Hello, caller. Hello, Yawa. Ẹ fẹ́ dá sórí ètò ni. Ètò ni ẹ mà. Àmọ́ tí kìíní ti kọ̀ láàrin.
Orí fẹ́ ṣe program lánàá ni mo ṣe pè.
Okay. Àtẹ̀gbà kọ̀ lánàá. Ẹ ti wà lórí program náà nísìnyí. À ń gbọ́ yín nísìnyí.
Wọ́n ní bàbá tó sọ̀rọ̀ ní wípé òun fẹ́ra akíní asúnmá èyí là. Ara àwọn APC mẹ́mbà ni.
Àmọ́ mọ̀ dáadáa náà kò ń ṣe àjòjì wa. Mo mọ̀ dáadáa.
Ara àwọn tó lọ jẹja. Wọ́n lọ jẹja l'Ábùjá. Ó bẹ̀rẹ̀ sí fún àwọn èèyàn gbọ́dọ̀ pé kọ́ bá dìbò fún Tinubu. Nígbà yẹn ara wọn ni.
Okay. So kí ló dé tó ń complain? Kí ló ṣẹlẹ̀ gangan? Kí ló dé tó ń complain?
Ó ti jẹ breakfast ẹ rí pé gbogbo ó ti jẹ breakfast wọ́n gbà láti sọ fún ẹgbẹ́ kan má dìbò wọn ṣàwà ló. Àwọn apariwo ti ṣe àwọn tó dìbò fún yẹn ṣé kò yẹ kó máa tọ́jú ẹ̀ kò yẹ kó máa tọ́jú wọn. Ṣẹ́ni kan tí mo fẹ́ dájú ní Ìdàpọ̀ Abíọ́dún tó sọ pé káwọn èèyàn máa lọ sí sàn. Kókó fámìlì àtàwọn ọmọ ẹ̀ kókó fámìlì ẹ̀ àtàwọn ọmọ ẹ̀ kókó wọn lọ sí fáàmù níbi tó ti ń pa àwọn èèyàn.
Ṣé pé kókó fámìlì ẹ̀ lọ sí fáàmù náà?
Wọ́n pa àwọn èèyàn. Bẹ́ẹ̀ni àtàwọn ẹbí ẹ̀ àtàwọn ọmọ wọn. Wọ́n ti káwọn ọmọ wọn lọ sí abroad. Kókó wọn lọ sínú oko. Kọ́ lọ máa dáko táwọn Nàìjíríà máa jẹ. Àwọn kan náà kó tẹ́rọ́rìsì wọlé ni. Àwọn náà kó tẹ́rọ́rìsì wọlé.
Irú wàhálà ọ̀la wa kọ̀ sí báyìí pẹ̀lú Nàìjíríà báyìí.
Àwọn náà kó tẹ́rọ́rìsì wọlé nígbà tó fẹ́ dìbò ń gbà yẹn.
Irú wàhálà ọ̀la kò sí.
Wọ́n gba àwọn politician èdè àbá àdúrà ṣe máa ń sọ. Àwọn èèyàn wa náà ṣe ń bílíìfù ọ̀rọ̀ tó ń sọ. Àwọn èèyàn wa ṣe ń tẹ̀lé ọ̀rọ̀ wọn. Kò yẹ kó bílíìfù gbogbo ọ̀rọ̀ tí politician wa sọ mọ́ láyéláyé. Because ìrọ́lá wọn pa ẹ kò sí ẹ̀ ní rí wọn o. Wọ́n bá dìbò election ìpínlẹ̀ máa rí gbogbo wọn. Wọ́n máa wá bọ́ síta tá máa parọ́ nǹkan tí wọ́n lè ṣe. Wọ́n máa ní wọ́n ṣe. Torí tó fẹ́ dìbò tó fẹ́ kọ́ dìbò fún ẹ máa rí wọn ládùúgbò ẹ máa rí wọn. Wọ́n bá ti dìbò fún wọn tó gbogbo wọn sá padà lọ sí Àbújá. Àbújá ni gbogbo wọn lọ ẹ̀ ní rí politician ẹ̀ ní rí wọn nígbà tó wá ṣe campaign. Ẹ̀ ní rí wọn. Ṣé Mr. Koiki? Ṣé wọ́n pé mo ti máa ń sọ statement yẹn ṣe pé ìgbà tí mo máa ń pèsè program mi pé wọ́n máa jẹ mo yóò yà ní kókó ṣẹ̀ṣẹ̀ bẹ̀rẹ̀ ní Nàìjíríà. Wọ́n jẹ stupid ambassador.
Wọ́n ní màtí gbowó la fi dógúnlẹ̀.
Kí ẹ sọ?
Mo ní wọ́n ní màtí gbowó la jọ fi dógúnlẹ̀.
Wọ́n náà wá yọ ẹlẹ́fẹ́ dógúnlẹ̀ nígbà tá a fẹ́ yọ wọ́n kúrò nínú wàhálà nínú èyí tí politician kó wọn sí. Wọ́n á jẹ mo yóò yà bọ́ sí wa wọ́n ẹ̀ṣẹ̀ bẹ̀rẹ̀ tí wọ́n pa ẹwòjá tó parọ́ tó ní òun tẹ̀jà.
Gbogbo ẹ̀ náà ni mo ti rí.
Nípa wọn ní kán dìbò bí wọn bí ẹ ti rí fídíò yẹn wọn wo lọ́dọ̀ máyé fún.
Gbogbo ẹ̀ mo ti rí.
Nípa wọn ní pé káwọn lọ dìbò àwọn ti dìbò lódò
ṣé mọ̀ pé that particular video tẹ bá rí àwọn ìbọn ṣe àwọn ọmọ Yorùbá bọ́ ṣe bú mi ní orí Twitter ẹ mọ̀ pé torí ìyá yẹn sọ pé bóyá ká ti jẹ́ kí Igbo ṣe àbí nǹkan kan bẹ́ẹ̀ but it doesn't matter it's not on that line our way anyway tẹ bá rí bọ́ ṣe attack àwọn ọmọ Yorùbá lórí Twitter lórí X space ọmọ àfẹ
ọmọ àlè ní.
Tẹ bá kọ́ orí mi náà máa gbórí mi wálé ni tẹ bá bọ́ ṣe bú mi.
Gbogbo wọn máa jẹ mo yóò yà tí wọn máa jọkọjá wọta tẹ ẹ lọ pé ká wà lọlé àwọn dẹ lọlé fún purpose ni àwọn lọlé fún purpose afẹlẹ ṣe kan lé ni wọn jẹ mo yóò yà anybody tí bá ti délé bá mi ya ní gbélé àbọ̀dọ̀ gbélé ní wá ní ẹfẹ́ wá kí mi ẹfẹ́ wá gbowó tó wà lọ́wọ́ mi èmi gan ájọ mọ. Orí gbàgádì kẹ mọ́ dìbò ẹni gbàgádì kẹ mọ́ dìbò ẹ̀dá wa ló wá sọ pé Nàìjíríà ò lè wọ́ọ̀kì ẹ̀dá wa ló ẹbí bẹ̀rẹ̀ sí ní wúwa ẹni Koiki ni ó ti bàbá olóyè Sunday Igboho ní pé bàbá olóyè Sunday Igboho jẹ́ bí ọmọ ìkíní wọn ọmọ ọ̀kan tí wọ́n jẹ́ bí bèbí Mr. Koiki ẹ máa ṣe bẹ́ẹ̀ ṣe ń ṣe lọ wọ́n ṣẹ̀ṣẹ̀ bẹ̀rẹ̀ ni wọ́n á jẹ mo yóò yàgbọ́ sí wọn tí mọ̀ kọ̀ọ̀kan àwọn táwa láàbùrọ̀dà àsọ́fà à ń jẹ nǹkan tó wù wá à ń wọlé bó ṣe kù wá lè rìn anytime tó wù wá kò sí security kò síyàn tó fẹ́ jí wa gbé àánú wọn là ń ṣe pé kán má lọ dìbò kò sí nǹkan tẹ́lẹ̀ jọ fẹ́ ṣe fún wa àti ìdìbò títí nígbà táwa kékeré náà ní Nàìjíríà màdó máa dà kò dáa àárèrè Nàìjíríà tó lọ títí tó kálukú fi sá kúrò Nàìjíríà tó fi wá àtijọ́ àti mo wá sí abroad àwọn politician náà kówó tó ṣe náà yáwó yẹn náà pín láàrin ara wọn ẹ jẹ mo yóò yà sí mọ kankan fi sáà máa bẹ tó kọ mú wa ní ẹni kí sáré pè yín kí sáré dá tètò.
ẹ tó bá fẹ́ dá sétò náà ẹ̀yin náà lè pè wọlé +44 74 0440 5917 àsìkò tẹ́yìn náà máa fi sọ̀rọ̀ kó má dẹ̀ pé Koiki nìkan ni ó ń sọ̀rọ̀ torí ìgbà ilẹ̀ máa ní Koiki ìwọ ló kúkú sọ àwa kọ́ la bẹ́ẹ̀ sọ èwo tún dédé ìkẹ́ ok oríṣiríṣi ló wà lórí Instagram so tẹ́yìn náà bá ní nǹkan tẹ́ fi sọ sí ẹ pè wọlé lórí Twitter lórí WhatsApp. Prince Ayọ̀ ní I hate that country called Nigeria. Kí ló dé? Kí ni Nigeria ṣe fún yín? Ẹ pè wọlé kẹ́yìn náà dá sí àgbà Twitter kìíní kan ẹ pè wọlé ni. A fún yín ní 4 minutes after 4 minutes. Mo kí kábíyèsí Ọọ̀ni of Ifẹ̀. Ẹ káwọ̀ sórí ètò ẹ̀gbọ́n mi Frank.
Ẹ pẹ̀lẹ́.
Àwa ni ẹ sà.
Ṣé bọ́ sórí ètò sí mo rí pé tí ń ṣètò lọ́wọ́.
Àwa ti wà lórí ètò látẹ̀yìn náà.
Ọ̀gá o. Ọlọ́ọ̀ jáde ní kọ́ pa wá tán. Ọ̀já kò ní pa wá tán. Ṣé gbogbo èyí tá à ń ṣe yìí náà? Good morning, sir. Kọ́lọ́run jọ kó gbà wá náà ni. Ó yẹ kí gbogbo ẹ̀ lọ bó ṣe yẹ kó lọ. Wọ́n ń pa wá lójoojúmọ́. Ẹ̀yin ọmọ Yorùbá ẹ̀ẹ́dẹ̀jọ́ ẹ dìde. Ẹjọ́ pípa yìí ti pọ̀ jù. Wọ́n pa wá ní wèrè ń jọ sí. Chief Sunday Igboho jáde ó sọ̀rọ̀. Ẹ̀rù ń bá wọn Fúlàní wọ́n sá padà sẹ́yìn. Ọba Ìwéré sọ wípé àwọn ti wà òkè kí wọ́n má dà sí. Àwọn tó ti pa yẹn ẹ̀mí wọn. Gbàtọ́ kúrò ní Ìwéré wọ́n bọ́ sí kí lorúkọ Ṣẹpẹtẹ́rì. Nígbà tó kúrò ń Ìwéré yẹn gan ṣé wọ́n ti pa àwọn èèyàn níbòmíì? Ṣé wọ́n ti pa àwọn èèyàn? Wọ́n ti pa àwọn èèyàn níbòmíì. Ṣébí ìtẹ́ gbọ́ lẹ gbọ́, ṣébí ìtẹ́ gbọ́ lẹ gbọ́. Wọ́n pa àwọn èèyàn níbòmíì kó tó di pọ́ńtù lọ sí Ṣẹpẹtẹ́rì. Torí pé àwọn Ṣẹpẹtẹ́rì yóò dìde tiwọn. Òun ló pàṣẹ fi ń gbọ́ gbogbo eléyìí báyìí. A dẹ̀ jókòó síbẹ̀. A dẹ̀ ń sọ kò síbẹ̀. Wọ́n ń pa yín, wọ́n ń ṣe léyìí fún yín. Kẹ́rù lè máa bà yín bí àwọn Haúsá. Kẹ́ má bàa lè sọ̀rọ̀. Kẹ́ má bàa lè dúpẹ́kẹ́. At the end of the day, a di pé Sẹ́ríkì Fúlàní a máa sọ pé òun lòun ní ilẹ̀ yìí. Òun lòun torí pé wọ́n ti bẹ̀rẹ̀ sí ní ṣe pípa yẹn. Lè ṣe Ìgbòho bá sọ̀rọ̀ ló fẹ́ dá wàhálà rẹ̀ jọ ṣé wàhálà ò ti wà nílẹ̀ àwọn tó tún fẹ́ kọ́ ìyà fún yín èèyàn fi ara ẹ̀ nílẹ̀ tókè ẹ̀yin ẹ má sọ̀rọ̀ mo fẹ́ kọ́ ìyà fún yín ẹni yẹn lẹ́yìn tó tún dìde wípé ó ń tẹ́ dá wàhálà rẹ̀ ìfẹ́ máa sọ̀rọ̀ tí ò dá wàhálà rẹ̀ ọlọ́run Yorùbá ló gọ̀ jù Yorùbá àwa la gọ̀ jù àwa ni a gọ̀ jù ẹ tó gọ̀ jù àwa ni. Inú òyìnbó táwa wà yìí, a ṣe ń débẹ̀, ó bá bú èèyàn àti fún àtìyàn jà lásán gan. Wọ́n máa wù ẹ́ ni. Bẹ́ẹ̀ni, wọ́n máa wù ẹ́ ni. Orúkọ máa wà lọ́dọ̀ náà wá ni. Wọ́n máa sọ wípé òun ló ń ìyàwó tó ń fa ìyàwó.
Encourage ní láti fáwọn èèyàn wa nísìnyí pé kọ́ òde àwọn olóṣèlú wọn responsible for the problem that we are facing right now. They must hold them responsible. They must hold them responsible for the crime. Wọ́n gbọ́dọ̀ hold wọn responsible. So àwọn gangan ni problem. All these politicians are the problem. So
kẹlọ dábẹ̀rù kẹlẹ wọn wípé àwọn náà máa ń lè fọkàn balẹ̀. Nígbà tó bá yẹ wọ́n bẹ̀rẹ̀ sí ní máa sọ̀rọ̀ torí nígbà tó ń pa yín jókòó tẹ́tẹ́ yẹn ó tún wá ṣe nǹkan kan bàbá mi wọ́n mú àwọn Fúlàní méjì kan mi lọ́tọ́ ti mú wọn mọ́ olórí fúgàmù kan ní bí 10 minutes ago mo ṣe tan YouTube mo ṣe wà ní YouTube mo kàn rí ní lọ́wọ́ máwọn méjì kan wọ́n tún wọ́n fi wọ́n hàn ẹ̀yìn Yorùbá àwọn ọlọ́jẹ́ mú wọn tán ẹ tún wọ́n ń ṣe YouTube ẹ ń ṣe fídíò ẹ ń fi wọ́n hàn ẹ ṣẹ̀ṣẹ̀ wá ń sọ pé ẹ jọ àwọn tẹ́ ẹ̀ ń fi hàn yẹn tó bá wá yá wọ́n ní kọ́lọ́pàá wá láti Àbújá tó wá ààrẹ tí Fúlàní àwọn ọlọ́pàá kọ́ wá ààrẹ tí ẹ̀yìn tó ń fojú ẹ̀ hàn pé máa méjì kan wọ́n tètè pa ẹ̀yìn bíi 20 nílẹ̀ Yorùbá ẹ wá mílíọ̀nù méjì ẹ wá ń fi fídíò hàn àwọn tá a mú rèé kìnìkan àwọn tó yẹ kẹ́ ti RIP dànù àwọn tó yẹ kẹ́ ti ṣe mọ́ṣẹ́ àwọn tó yẹ kẹ́ ti ẹ̀ẹ́dì láti ẹ̀dí fẹ́ anybody hàn kẹ́ ti ẹ má fi hàn wá tẹ bá ṣe ń ṣe pẹ̀lú wọn kẹ́yìn náà tẹ́ ń ṣe bó ṣe ń ṣe fún wa ẹ̀yin pé wọ́n máa sún sẹ́yìn ẹ wọ àwọn yíbò náà àwọn ọmọ Yíbò gbogbo àwọn tó ń dé kúrò nílẹ̀ Yíbò yẹn wọ́n ti wá sínú forest wa wọ́n ti kéèjì wa tẹ bá rí ṣé RPG àbí kí ló ń pe ìbọn táwọn ọmọ ìgbé dání láàárọ̀ ìgbà tí wọ́n ti níyẹn tẹ bá rí tó mú dání tí wọ́n na àwọn ọmọ.
àwọn èèyàn wọ̀ ní gbogbo ẹ̀ka wà kẹ́fù àwọn èèyàn wọ̀ ní gbogbo tẹ̀sán responsibility wà lórí ẹ̀.
no àwọn Fúlàní ló gbé dání tó kidnap àwọn ọmọ Yorùbá sínú igbó tó ń nà wọ́n pẹ̀lú gi
láti last week nìyẹn.
ẹ ti rí fídíò yẹn mo jẹ́ sunkún bó ṣe rí láàárọ̀ yìí.
At the end of the day
mo jẹ́ sunkún
ẹni sùúrù ẹ má ká blame àwọn èèyàn wa nílé àwọn èèyàn wa gbọ́dọ̀ lọ hold the governors because at the end of the day it's easy for us to be telling them to do this do that. As soon as they can hold their governors responsible for all this atrocity, life will be meaningful. But they are not ready to hold the governor and the politicians accountable. So that is where they will have to face the consequence of whatever they are facing. So it's as simple as that. So
protest governor.
ẹ máa ká sọ fún wa pé kọlọ ṣe kọkàn tó bá wọn ni kò ṣe so tó bá ti lọ protest so there's nothing we can do to that.
ẹ bó ṣe pawúsá tó wá payín tó bẹ̀rẹ̀ ẹ lọ sí house of assembly ẹ lọ sí house of representatives ẹ lọ bá wọn bí àti governor's office ẹ gbọ́dọ̀ kúrò níbẹ̀. ojoojúmọ́ ló ń sọ fún yín pé ẹ má jà o ẹ má ṣe kinní kan àwọn ń take control kinní kan kinní kan ẹ jọ ṣé wọ́n ṣe nǹkan kan ni. ìwé lè ṣẹlẹ̀ ọjọ́ kọ̀ọ̀kan ò sọ̀rọ̀ ń pa ẹ̀. pírẹsidẹ́ǹtì ẹ̀nà ọmọ yín ni ọmọ ẹni ò ní ṣèdí bẹ́ẹ̀ bẹ̀rẹ̀ tàbí sí jẹlòmíì ẹ̀nà ọmọ yín ni ó wà ń bẹ̀ kó sọ tó nípa àwọn èèyàn tó ń pa. Buhari sì ń dìfẹ́ǹdì àwọn Fúlàní tó jẹ́ tẹ́rọ́rìtì ẹgbẹ́ ó sì jẹ́ pírẹsidẹ́ǹtì ó sì ń dìfẹ́ǹdì wọn ó sì jẹ́ pírẹsidẹ́ǹtì nàìjíríà èyí Tinubu ò sọ tó sórí ọ̀rọ̀ ayé yín ẹ̀jẹ̀ ń sọ wípé Yorùbá ni ẹ̀jẹ̀ kó máa ṣe kó máa ṣe kó máa pa yín kó máa ṣe kó máa pa dídà ti mú ọyín lára ìyá ti mú ọyín lára ẹ̀yin Yorùbá ìyá ti mú lára ìyá ti mú ọyín lára kí ló dé ganan adẹ ń sọ ẹ ń ṣe ó ń gbé tí òtún yín wọlé ó ń gbòsì jáde ẹ mú fóònù yín òsì yẹn ẹ bẹ̀rẹ̀ sí táìpù mẹ́sẹ̀jì lórí WhatsApp sí wa ẹ bẹ̀rẹ̀ sí sẹ́ndì mẹ́sẹ̀jì sí wa ẹ bẹ̀rẹ̀ sí pè wá bí ẹni pé ṣíṣe owó sí wa lọ́wọ́ ẹ bẹ̀rẹ̀ sí pè wá pé náà bá tún gbé kọ́ọ̀lù yín ẹ sẹ́ndì mẹ́sẹ̀jì pé ẹ máa gbọ́n fẹ́ tọrọ owó lẹ́wọ́ ẹ wa kàn ní abèrè àlàáfíà náà ni ẹ bá pè wọ́n padà owó ni ó máa gbẹ̀yìn ẹ tún máa bú ẹni yẹn ẹ mọ̀ bóyá ni ẹ wà ń bí iṣẹ́ àbó wà lọ síbítù àbó wà ń bí kọ̀ọ̀kan yín adé ní kẹ dìde kẹ gbára yín sí dandan ní kẹ tọrọ owó kú ni dandan ní kẹ ṣe bá ń bí àlàkù níbi ìtàwùsá ẹ dìde ẹ lọ sí gọ́ọ̀mọ̀tì ọ̀fíìsì ẹ bá bẹ̀ jẹ́ ẹ bá ibẹ̀ jẹ́ kí wọ́n mọ̀ bẹ́ẹ̀ bínú ẹ má bínú jàre ẹ má bí bẹ́ẹ̀ ni ẹ má bínú ẹ lọ síbẹ̀ ẹ mọ̀ nǹkan tó yẹ kẹ́ ṣe ẹ má bínú jàre ẹ má bínú ẹ lọ síbẹ̀ ṣé ìyá bá yín lára mu ni àbó sì bá yín lára mu ẹ lọ síbẹ̀ lọ protest fún àbá ti ṣe nǹkan tẹ́tẹ́ ẹ̀ gbúdọ̀ kúrò ń bẹ̀ ẹ jókòó síbẹ̀ kí ló dé náà tọ́ba ti lè sọ̀rọ̀ kọ́ ẹ a máa ṣe kíní kọ̀kẹ́ ẹ kúrò ń bẹ̀ gọ́ọ̀nà wa ń ṣe dáadáa kí ló ń ṣe dáadáa fún yín kí ló ń ṣe dáadáa. àwọn kan ń jà wọn ò jà nítorí welfare wọn ò jà nítorí payment increasement wọn ò jà nítorí employment wọn ò jà nítorí power tí ó sì ń jà torí ìwé torí Quran ìwé tó wá láti Saudi Arabia òun lè ń jà fún ẹ dìde torí ọmọ Yorùbá ẹ jẹ lọmọ Yorùbá ni yín àfi kẹwàá tó social media kẹsọ̀rọ̀ kan jọ̀wé wọ́n jó story book ìkọ́tẹ̀ ẹ̀rọ nìyẹn nílé ẹ̀yin ọmọ Yorùbá wọ́n ti filẹ̀ Yíbò lẹ̀ wọ́n ti surround yín ẹ̀rọ àwọn Yíbò bọ́ ṣe ń ṣe fún wọn wọn lè dúró sílẹ̀ Yíbò wọ́n ti clear gbogbo inúgbó Yíbò àwọn ESN ti clear gbogbo inúgbó yẹn wọ́n ti clear ibẹ̀ wọ́n wá ń darí wá sọ́dọ̀ tiwa kọ́ wá máa pa wá kọ́ lè máa fi bẹ̀rù sí yín lọ́kàn ṣọ́ gé ọwọ́ titi yín ni ṣé wọ́n gé ọwọ́ titi yín nǹkan tó ń lò sẹ́yìn náà ò lè wá ní kẹ́ lò fún wọn ni kẹ́yìn àti wọ́n jọ tápọ̀ ara yín kan tó pa ẹ́ self defence kò kì í ṣe crime kọ́ tó pa yín ẹ ṣe nǹkan tó yẹ kẹ́ ẹ ṣe fún wọn kò sẹ́ni tó máa mú yín sí ẹ má ṣe fídíò mọ́ kò make sense at all kò make sense ẹ jí ìyàwó kì í ṣe omi ọbẹ̀ ìyàwó ń ṣe nǹkan tọ́lọ́run dá mọ́yàn ìjọba àwọn èèyàn ló ń fìyà jẹ yín torí wọn ò fẹ́ kẹ́ ẹ rí báwọn ṣe rí ẹ dìde fúnra yín ẹ dìde fún àwọn ọmọ yín kọ́ lè ṣe oríire lọ́la sábà gba Yorùbá nation ọkàn yín máa balẹ̀ jù báyìí lọ ẹ̀ẹ́rí jẹ ẹ̀ẹ́rí mu ẹ̀ẹ́rí ná ẹ̀ẹ́rí lò ẹ̀ẹ́ láyé olóko á lè lọ sóko àgbẹ̀ á lè gbìn nǹkan tó fẹ́ gbìn ẹni tó ń tajà á lè lọ sọ́jà kìrìsìtúnì Nàìjíríà mo ti rí tí àwọn máa gbàdúrà pé mo ti ń lọ láàárọ̀ ìbáyọ̀ náà jẹ́ ń padà wọlé o torí pé ṣọ́ọ̀pù wà padà ní mi ìmọ̀jọ́ tí mo ti gbàdúrà yẹn lu òyìnbó ìtìmọ̀dé torí mi ò wẹ̀yìn wò tí bá ń lọ tí bá ti kó sínú mọ́tò mo ti jáde tèmi mo ti drive lọ nìyẹn Ọlọ́run ló ń ṣọ́ ni lóòótọ́ ṣùgbọ́n irú àdúrà téèyàn ń gbà yẹn àwọn ò kì í gbà ń bí torí pé kí ni ọ̀nà dà kò sí gbókun tí bandit fẹ́ tàpamọ́ sí kò sí níbi kan tẹ́nìkan kò fẹ́ dúró tó fẹ́ kidnap yín kò sí pé kí ní ọ̀nà kan ò dájẹ́ ń lọ gbàbí kan tí máa gbá nígbó tó máa lọ pẹ́ nìkan mú mi.
bàtàjọ máa jẹ́ ló máa yàtọ̀.
forest reserve òyìnbó kò ń ṣe fún èèyàn kò séèyàn kankan tó lè lọ bẹ̀. yàtọ̀ sáwọn tó ń dé kí ẹ bẹ̀. kílẹ̀ ń wá bẹ́ẹ̀ ni wàá sọ nǹkan tó wá lọ bẹ̀ tán àbá authorize ẹ̀ òun lè yàn tó authorize ló lè débẹ̀ ṣùgbọ́n yìí jókòó síbẹ̀ ẹ̀yin ẹ ti rò pé bí ilé ayé ṣe rí ní Nàìjíríà ṣe rán nìyẹn bí ilé ayé ọ̀nà ti dá ilé ayé kọ́ nìyẹn o bẹ́ẹ̀ kọ́ o ní bẹ́ẹ̀ bí Nàìjíríà ṣe rí kọ́ ni Ghana ṣe rí o Nàìjíríà ló wọ́
sí. èbí Niger la sọ lẹ́ẹ̀kan pé tí wọ́n bá ń gbé ní Niger 61 years old ni life expectancy wọn 61 years old Niger nílẹ̀ lẹ́ẹ̀bẹ̀ yẹn Nàìjíríà is 52.
ẹ wo Nàìjíríà
tó bá wà ní Niger wàá pẹ́ láyé ju Nàìjíríà lọ.
ẹ mọ bí tẹ́rù ti bà mí lánàá àwọn Brazilian family kan wọ́n wà ní Pakistan Palestinian wọ́n ń gbé bẹ̀ mo wò pé àwọn lè lọ gbé Palestinian ajẹ́ Palestinian bọ́ ṣe sọ pé ní Gaza ń bẹ̀ tó ti ṣe kí ajẹ́ pé Gaza tún dájú Nàìjíríà lọ tó ṣe ìjọba àwọn afẹ́ ẹjẹ́ àti fún wa lọ Nàìjíríà ajẹ́ pé Gaza ju Nàìjíríà lọ nìyẹn fẹ́ lè mọ̀ wọ́n ṣe padà sí Brazil lánàá ni àbí ìjẹta tí president wọn lọ gbé wọn padà wọn lọ repatriation padà torí ogun so ìdí tó fi lè máa gbé bẹ̀ yẹn ẹ mọ̀ pé tí ò bá ń ṣe fún jagun sí i ibẹ̀ yẹn dáa ju Nàìjíríà lọ ó dáa ju Nàìjíríà lọ tẹ́lẹ̀ mọ̀ pílánì tí wọ́n ń ṣe fún wa ẹ wá wo mánu Zakari àbí kí lorúkọ ẹ̀ wọ́n gbé wá láti bóyá Indonesia níbi kan tó ń wá ní India
Malaysia ló
jẹ́ pé terrorist
Malaysia ló bèsè olùsìn
Malaysia ló ti wá ẹ ó sì kàtà iná ní Malaysia pé India ó sì kàtà iná Malaysia gan sí gan wọ́n ń bínú sí lọ́wọ́ báyìí like 5 different countries ló ń wá as terrorist ẹ wo bí tó end up sí ó end up pé Sultan of Sokoto ìlú tẹ́ ẹ pè Nàìjíríà àwọn pípì yóò rí èèyàn gidi tó máa wá jẹ́ pé tó máa ran Nàìjíríà tó máa sọ pé so called Nàìjíríà tiẹ̀ máa develop tó máa jẹ́ kí ìlú dà ọwọ́ lọ invite terrorist wá sínú Nàìjíríà kí ló ń sọ fún yín yẹn wọ́n ti prepare ogun ẹ̀yin èèyàn mi ẹ̀yin Yorùbá kí ló ń ṣe yín ṣé màálù wèrè tẹ̀ ń jẹ ló ń kó yín lọ́pọlọ ṣé màálù yẹn ló ń kó yín lọ́pọlọ ní ẹ̀yin jẹ màálù mo rí àwọn ọmọ Yíbò ti ṣí wọn jẹ màálù mọ́ kò sí màálù lẹ̀ Yíbò mọ́ wọn lè fi màálù lọ jókòó wọ́n gbé màálù yẹn wá sí Nàìjíríà mọ́kọ́ tó wá ṣe ní bàbá mi torí màálù yẹn ní fọ́lọ́wà pọ̀ ní gbogbo àgbáyé ṣẹ́rí tó bá fún fèrè tó bá bẹ́ẹ̀lẹ̀ mò ń sọ fún yín Koiki tó bá fún fèrè wọn tó bá bẹ́ẹ̀lẹ̀ máàlù yẹn àwọn tó máa bá wọn pè láti different countries tó ti lọ ṣe torí ìwàásù tó máa ń ṣe ìwàásù bíi kọ́ pààyàn ni hatred ló máa ń ṣe ń tiẹ̀ ó máa tò wọ́n kọ́ máa wọ Nàìjíríà wá wọ́n máa help àwọn Fúlàní láti máa bá ilẹ̀ Yorùbá jà torí wọn lè bá Yíbò jà wọn bí wọn rí wọn mọ̀ mọ́ sọ fún pẹ́gbẹ́gbẹ̀rún Fúlàní lè dá Yíbò dúró wọn tó bẹ́ẹ̀ ṣùgbọ́n wa àjókòó síbẹ̀ bàbá ti gbọ́ Fúlàní àwọn olórí wa gan bẹ̀rù Fúlàní kí lẹ̀ ń bẹ̀rù fún ẹ jọ ẹ̀ ń bẹ̀rù fún kí ni kọ́ máa wá pa yín nítorí pé ẹ ti ṣe kí ni nítorí pé ẹ ti ṣe kí ni tẹ́ ń bẹ̀rù àwọn ìpè ti plan ìtàn wọ́n kàn ń dúró kán wíìzù ni ẹ tún wá rí ọmọ yín tó já kíkanjú tó ń dìde tó ní pé ànífẹ́ ẹ nípa wá tán lẹ̀ Yorùbá ìka tó gbára wa lẹ̀ lọ́wọ́ yín ẹ̀yin náà lè máa wà against yẹn Sunday Igboho ti sọ̀rọ̀ jù Sunday Igboho ti ṣe kinní kan jù Sunday Igboho ti ṣe kinní kan jù wọ́n dẹ̀ ń pa wá ṣé kó má sọ̀rọ̀ kó má pa wá lọ ni ẹ ní nǹkan ṣe ẹ tún rẹni tó tún bá yín ṣe ẹ tún wá against ẹ má bínú o Mr. Koiki máa dárúkọ èèyàn kan sí máa dárúkọ Awíkonko program t'Awíkonko ṣe lánàá kó lọ wo program yẹn dáadáa ó máa gbọ́ yín torí náà wo program àwọn èèyàn èmi tí mò ń sọ̀rọ̀ yìí tó bá wò mí lórí YouTube ẹ̀ á rí tèmi ni mò ń comment sóhun pé Awíkonko fi Sunday Igboho á rí 002 too cool á rí ń bẹ̀ lórí YouTube mi kó máa gbọ́ kó fi ṣe program torí ń ṣẹ́ ìpè lánàá bí ẹni pé àwọn ọmọ Yorùbá rà wọ́n nú báyìí ṣé dandan ni kò porúkọ Sunday Igboho ni ṣé dandan ni fún Awíkonko ó láyé bó ṣe wà yìí nǹkan tó máa jẹ ìjẹ́ kó gbọ́n wọ́n ń pa wá ní wèrè wọ́n pa wá ń ṣẹ̀pẹ̀tẹ́rì ó ṣe prógráàmù torí ìyẹn ó pe Tinubu pé bàbá Tinubu ẹ wò níbi tá a dé yìí èmi káwọ́ sókè ò torí pé kò yé wa mọ́ ó wá ń sọ pé ká fún Tinubu tó ti lọ́dún mẹ́ta ni so ó dìgbà tó bá lọ́dún mẹ́ta kó tó sọ fún Fúlàní pé kó má pa wá mọ́ orí ẹ̀ ò pè rárá Awíkonko ó wá ní o ti ìwọ tó ń lọ tó fi fi yẹ ṣé Sunday Igboho bọ ẹ kò bọ ẹ tó bá ẹ sọ̀rọ̀ tó dárúkọ ẹ ni àbúbọ́ sórí social media tó dárúkọ ẹ ìwọ ló gbé information wá ó misinform àwọn ènìyàn sọ fún mi téèyàn bá sọ̀rọ̀ pa ẹ tí ò rí bẹ́ẹ̀ ṣé kò ní sọ̀rọ̀ ó wá ní kò ń ṣe good leader báwo ló ṣe fẹ́ jẹ́ good leader báwo ló ṣe fẹ́ jẹ́ good leader èèyàn ní pé kọ́ máa pa wá mọ́ so gbogbo àwọn Tinubu yẹn ní good leader alẹ́ ẹ̀ láyé nǹkan ẹ̀yin Yorùbá ẹ̀ láyé àbàjẹ́ ìdẹ̀mọ̀ kan tó ń fà á ṣe fi ń ṣe báyìí.
ẹja fẹ́ lómi lọ́gbọ́n mi ẹ ṣe gan ẹ ti bá mi hold program here for 60 minutes nígbà tí mo fi lọ wá nǹkan jẹ.
ẹ ṣe gan jàre bàbá mi
thank you so much
ẹ ṣe gan ni
fẹ́ lómi
ẹ kú ètò
ẹ ṣe gan
màá máa watch
thank you so much. àyíká wa lórí Koiki Oduduwa lọ sórí our next platform because phone iPad yóò charge mo ti fi sábẹ́ charger but it's still not charging so I'm ní láti discontinue kó má lọ kó mọ́ mi lẹ́nu so ẹ jẹ́ ká gba the next caller as well tó ń bọ̀ mo dẹ̀ mọ̀ bí ẹni fi dá sórí. Hello. Tẹ̀lé láti. Ṣẹ̀fẹ̀ dá sórí ètò ni sà.
Ẹ káàsán sà.
Ṣẹ̀fẹ̀ dá sórí ètò ni.
Ààrẹ ni. Ẹ wo ọ̀rọ̀ afọkànbalẹ̀. Gbogbo náà ti ń jẹ́ ìyàbá yìí. Gbogbo everybody ló ti mọ̀ àti APC àti gbogbo à ń sọ fún wọn gbà yẹn pé ẹja pín wọn ni ọ̀rọ̀ mi wọn ni ó lè ṣe ọ̀nà ẹnìkan ló máa ṣe tó bá débẹ̀ mo ṣe ní sọ fún gbà yẹn mo ní ẹgbà bàbá yìí ẹni yóò lè ṣe mérekù Nàìjíríà ti bàjẹ́ kọjá nǹkan tó lè rí ṣe tó lè tó ṣe a ti sọ fún wọn ẹgbọ́n nǹkan tí rìbádì sọ lánàá ń sìn ẹgbọ́n nǹkan tí rìbádì sọ.
Ó ní Buhari ló mo gbọ́ sẹ́ ó ní Buhari ló jẹ́ kí Nàìjíríà wà bankrupt báyìí mo gbọ́.
Na wọ́n ti gbogbo wọn ti kówó everybody ti bó tó máa bù everybody ti lọ.
Everybody ti bú tó máa bù.
Tí mo kọ̀ọ̀kan
everybody ti bú tó máa bù.
Ṣégepo man ṣégepo àwọn náà wà ń bẹ̀ bọ̀ gbogbo ẹ̀ náà àti fọlọ́run gbogbo àti sọ. Ṣẹgbọn accident tó ṣẹlẹ̀ ní Charlie Boy ní Èkó lánàá tọ́pa èèyàn méjì.
Àwọn lọ́mà tó ń ṣiṣẹ́ ṣáwọn lọ́mà tó ń ṣiṣẹ́.
Àwọn ojú mi báyìí ló ń ṣẹlẹ̀ ẹ̀ka ojú mi báyìí ló ń ṣẹlẹ̀.
ṣé wọ́n lé mọ́tò kan àbí báwo kò yé mi.
Wọ́n lé mọ́tò bọ̀bọ́ yẹn nǹkan tó ṣẹlẹ̀ ní bọ́bọ́ tọ́jú bọ̀ wọ́n lé bọ̀bọ́ yẹn ó jáyàn lẹ̀ ó ṣe jáyàn lẹ̀ ní Charlie Boy.
Wọ́n wá fi píkẹ̀.
Wọ́n ṣe lé ìyẹn wọ́n wá tà láti ṣẹ́gbọ́n mi. Wọ́n ń tọ́ láti pé bí kóhun sálọ mọ́ ọ lọ́wọ́. Mọ́tò kan wà láàrin ẹ̀. Ẹ bá rí píṣọ̀ mọ́tò kan tó wà láàrin ẹ̀. Mọ́tò ẹ̀kan ló ń já sí kọ́tà. Ìṣe mọ́tò ẹ̀kan ló gbáyàn. Mọ́tò tó gbáyàn gbogbo ìyẹn ti lọ bọ́ ẹ clear báyìí bí ẹ ṣe wọ́n fẹ́ try láti maneuver bí ẹ ṣe lọ́mọ ẹ̀dẹ̀ ń gbálẹ̀ lọ́wọ́ wọn ìkílẹ̀ mo kò sí ẹ̀ wojú ara ó bá ọmọ èjì tí kọ́tà bẹ́ẹ̀ ni ó ti ṣe ẹ̀ lọ. ọ̀dọ̀ ọmọ ẹgbọ́n tí wọ́n ti ààrẹ ìṣẹ̀ pé kí
mo gbọ́ bẹ́ẹ̀ èmi náà gbọ́ bẹ́ẹ̀ pé dírẹ́bà ti sọ.
ọlọ́wọ́ ṣàánú fún wa níbi ẹkú ètò ìta.
àwa ni thanks so much. mo kí gbogbo wa lẹ́ẹ̀kan sí i mo kí àwa Esther wọ́n ní Gaza is a beautiful country. Mr. Oyelola Wahab mo kí àwa Bọ́sẹ̀dé Rachel Mr. Peter George. We'll still be on probably maybe another half an hour katoma mwito yawasi sale. So in case tabashi rentofe wole, you can also call into the program. I want to stop from saying what we are saying. Seen it and we have said it, you know, the country now, all she blaming game, listen. On blame, Elaine blame, you know, Tinubu blame Buhari blame Jonathan. Ọwọ́n forí gbogbo àwọn fi ń fagbọn. Ẹ̀gbọ́n mi triple DRS, báwo ni gbogbo Woolwich? You know, Koiki, let's be honest with ourselves. I don't want to believe that people are suffering. Yeah, I don't think they're suffering. You know, ẹ já lọ sí New York, lọ́dọ̀ àwọn grandma long. Hello, ma.
Hello.
Ẹ̀mí ò ti tẹ́ fi ń gbọ́ wa nínú ilé ti wà live. Ètò ni àjọ ń ṣe náà ni. Táwa bá tẹ́yìn bá wa gbọ́, àwọn ò lè ṣe. Ìtẹ́yìn bá wa gbọ́ náà ni.
Ẹ kú jọ́ mẹ́ta, ẹ kú iṣẹ́ ìlú, àwọn ọmọ mi ń kọ́.
Àwọn ti lọ́ọ̀sì àbí ọmọ kan bá wà nílé nísìnyí, àfikọ́lọ́kọ̀ máa gbélú ẹ̀ nínú ilé.
Mo béèrè àlàáfíà àwọn ọmọ kan ti lọ sí
àlàáfíà lọ́wọ́ àlàáfíà.
Ilẹ̀ mọ́mì ń kọ́.
Àlàáfíà ni grandma wà.
Ẹ kú gbìyànjú.
Àwa ni ẹ.
Ṣé rí ọ̀rọ̀ yẹn ó ní agbára. Nǹkan tèmi kan rí tí mo fẹ́ sọ ni ọ̀rọ̀ tó ń sọ látẹ̀kan pé àwọn tí wọ́n jẹ́ òṣèlú wa tí wọ́n wà ní stéètì kọ̀ọ̀kan gbogbo ibi tí wà àgàgà Ọ̀yọ́ stéètì yẹn gbogbo wọn pátápátá ìwéré ní òkínní kan ni òṣèré tí wọ́n bá jáde tí wọ́n bá lọ ilé ìgbìmọ̀ aṣòfin tí wọ́n lọ sí secretariat ibi tí gọ́vnà wà wọ́n takú síbẹ̀ ẹ wojọ́ táwọn tí àwọn kan lọ bẹ̀ tí wọ́n lọ kírun jímọ̀ bẹ̀ tí wọ́n takú síbẹ̀ ṣé ó padà dá wọn lóhùn kán takú síbẹ̀ tí ẹ̀rí wọn bá débẹ̀ wọ́n ti sọ àti lọ police station àti lọ kinní kan àti lọ kinní kan wọ́n á padà lọ ilé kí wọ́n takú síbẹ̀ jíjẹ múmu ńgbẹ kú wà nílé náà ìnira ń bá yín ẹ̀rí wọn kán takú síbẹ̀ kán má kúrò ọ̀ǹtì tó bá dá wọn lóhùn tó kó kinní gbogbo àwọn bá ṣe náà ń kọ́ lọ́pàá lọ́bì kan wọ́n ń ṣe kinní kan yẹn wọn ò tí ì ṣe kankan fún wọn. Igbó fọ́rẹ́sì tí wọ́n tẹnu mọ́ ìgbóòpó lẹ Yorùbá ni kì í ṣe pé kí wọ́n ṣe ń pè nìkan Òkè Ògùn nìkan kọ́ ni o gbogbo lẹ Yorùbá kí wọ́n takú tí wọ́n bá takú síbẹ̀ tí gbogbo wọn fọwọ́sowọ́pọ̀ tí wọ́n sowọ́pọ̀ pẹ̀lú wọn tí wọ́n takú síbẹ̀ tí wọ́n lọ kí wọ́n kúkú sọ fún wọn pé ọ̀ǹtì tí wọ́n bá wọn lé gbogbo àwọn ará bíi ìfòòlù fọ́rẹ́sì sọ̀rọ̀ mi ń jẹ tí wọn ò bá tí ì ṣe kinní yìí Koiki tí wọn ò bá ṣe kinní yìí kò sí nǹkan kan tó fẹ́ ṣẹlẹ̀ ìwò tá a máa pa náà nì. Orílẹ̀-èdè tá a lá fẹ́ gbà àìrí gbà. Nǹkan tó dẹ̀ wà ń bẹ̀ gbogbo ọ̀rọ̀ wọn jẹ kó wọ́n ṣe kinní yìí ẹ jẹ́ kí gbogbo wa sọ jí ẹ wo Gaza àti kí ni wọ́n ń pè wọ́n àwọn tó ń wà ní kinní. Ẹ rí i pé wọ́n ti ń lẹ́bù ilẹ̀ Gaza yẹn nísìn. Wọ́n ti rẹ́dì pé wọ́n ti gba gbogbo yẹn lọ́wọ́ wọn ni. Ìhun tí wọ́n mọ gbọ́n program bàbá àròpọ̀ kan ní ìmọ̀kàn láti ẹ̀dá sí lánàá. Ìhun tí wọ́n ń rẹ́dì láti ṣe nìyẹn wọ́n fẹ́ gba gbogbo ilẹ̀ ní ilẹ̀ Yorùbá olẹ̀ kí ni wọ́n fẹ́ gba gbogbo ẹ̀ ni wọ́n fẹ́ ṣe nìyẹn. Ẹ rántí pé wọ́n ti ń bá wa àwọn tipẹ́tipẹ́ àwọn bàbá tó ti lọ wọ́n ròyìn ogun tó ti jà lóríṣiríṣi bí wọ́n ṣe ṣetán fi gba Ìlọrin wọ́n tún kọjá sórí ní orí ilẹ̀ Yorùbá mi wọ́n ròyìn lọ́yọ̀ọ́ ní ìsìn Ọ̀yọ́ kankan Ọ̀yọ́ town wọ́n ròyìn pé àwọn tó wà ń bẹ̀ wọ́n ti fẹ́ pọ̀jà àwọn ọmọ tó jọmọ Ọ̀yọ́ kankan lọ. Ẹ sọ fún mi kí ni wọ́n pláàni láti ṣe ẹ wo Olúwo ìyẹn tiẹ̀ wọ́n ti gbé bọ́ abẹ́. Ẹ jọ torí Ọlọ́run kí ni gbogbo tá à ń ṣe gbogbo àlọ́ tá à ń pa yìí ilẹ̀ yìí làwọn ará abíyì ń pọ̀ ṣú. Wọ́n dẹ̀ náà sọ pé
everybody is interested in our land. Ọ̀rẹ́ pínlẹ̀ yẹn gangan ni everybody is interested in the land.
kò ní bàjẹ́ fún ẹ kò ní bàjẹ́ fún ẹ ilẹ̀ yìí ni wọ́n takú ni wọ́n tẹjúmọ́
gbogbo ẹ̀yà dẹ̀ ni kò ní ṣe ẹ̀yà kan gbogbo ẹ̀yà náà ni gbogbo wọn pátápátá everybody is interested in the land.
bẹ́ẹ̀ni
gbogbo wọn ni everybody is interested ó kọ́ ẹ̀ pé wọ́n sàn jùlọ àwọn ọ̀nà náà.
gbogbo wọn ni ilẹ̀ Yorùbá yìí ni wọ́n takú sí ilẹ̀ Yorùbá yìí wọ́n fẹ́ gbà wọ́n dẹ̀ ti ń sọ fún wa pé àìsíkò tiwa ò lé bó bá pẹ́ a máa panumọ́ ẹ sọ fún mi irú ìpanumọ́ ọrú wo nìyẹn ṣé rí ìran tó ń lọ yìí tí a bá kọ̀ tí wọn bá ti fẹ́ ṣe ká kúrò ní àkàtà gbogbo kìíní ilẹ̀ Yorùbá tó bá máa tọ́dún mélòó ẹ má jẹ́ àtànra wa kó má jẹ́ ohun tàn àjẹbó ti jẹ́ ẹ kú iṣẹ́ ìlú o Ọlọ́run á gbà fún yín o bàbá tí wọ́n ń pariwo pé ẹ̀yìn ìgbà ni àwo ni tí wọ́n lọ ṣèfọwọ́sowọ́pọ̀ kán jẹ́ ká fẹ́ràn ara wa kínú wa konú kọ́rọ̀ wa ṣe kan gbogbo àṣòṣèlú àlàní tó bá gba orílẹ̀-èdè
náà a máa ṣòṣèlú láàrin ara wa bẹ́ẹ̀ni a máa ṣòṣèlú
láàrin ara wa ṣùgbọ́n ẹ jẹ́ ká ṣe kọ́kọ́ fọwọ́sowọ́pọ̀ èmi ni PDP èmi ni APC èmi ni kíní kan ẹ jẹ́ ká fọwọ́sowọ́pọ̀ ká kọ́kọ́ gba ilẹ̀ yìí ná ilẹ̀ yìí gangan ojoojúmọ́ ni bàbá Aliu ń sọ ojoojúmọ́ ni bàbá Aliu tẹnu mọ́ ojoojúmọ́ ni bàbá yìí ń sọ nǹkan tí wọ́n dẹ̀ ń sọ yìí níbi tó ń bọ̀ nìyẹn o káàbà mọ́ bá a ti fẹ́ ṣe gbogbo ọ̀rọ̀ Ọ̀yọ́ state ní Oǹdó ní kíní kan ni gbogbo wọn ni kí wọ́n lọ sí ilé kíní kí wọ́n sọ fún gbogbo wọn kí gbogbo àwọn ọmọ gómìnà ilẹ̀ Yorùbá aṣòfin ilẹ̀ Yorùbá kíní kan ilẹ̀ Yorùbá kí wọ́n dáwọ́ kí wọ́n sowọ́pọ̀ kí wọ́n pe àwọn agbófinró gbogbo yẹn pátápátá kí wọ́n lé gbogbo wọn dànù nínú fọ́rẹ́ẹ̀sì káwá mọ̀ kí ló kàn bàbá ìlú òfojoojúmọ́ sọ pé kán jẹ́ káwọn ọkùnfà ilẹ̀ Yorùbá ká mọ bí tí bá di wa gbogbo orí ẹyin stéètì mẹ́jẹ̀ẹ̀jọ yẹn ká mọ bí tí àwa Yorùbá tó gbogbo wa ṣe kìíní sí bẹ̀. iṣẹ́ pọ̀ lẹ́ o ọ̀rọ̀ Yorùbá nation yìí kì í ṣe nǹkan iṣẹ́ kékeré rárá iṣẹ́ pọ̀ lẹ́ gidi gan rẹpẹtẹ láwọn iṣẹ́ abẹ́lẹ̀ tó ṣe rẹpẹtẹ tó yẹ kán máa ṣe nǹkan yìí tó wá dojúkọ wá lọ́wọ́lọ́wọ́ yìí Koiki èmi fẹ́ bó bá ní àwọn èèyàn tó ń rí pé kìíní bá sọ fún wọn torí mi ò ní access sí èèyàn kankan kọjá àwọn ọba èyí tí mò ń bá sọ̀rọ̀ kódà mo bá èyí dára kan sọ̀rọ̀ lánàá tó bá ṣe pé kíní nọ́mbà bàbá rò pọ̀ kan mi ò mọ bí mo ṣe fẹ́ pè ní WhatsApp ni tí bá ti báyọ̀ náà sọ̀rọ̀ torí àwọn pẹ̀lú bàbá Aliu tí bàbá Aliu wà nílé àwọn tó bá wà nílé tí wọ́n ṣe kíní iṣẹ́ yẹn nìkan máa ṣe lọ ní rẹ̀bùtù àwọn tí wọ́n wá ń dojú tí wọ́n ń lọ pa wọ́n lọ abúlé kí gbogbo àwọn ará abúlé àti ti táwọn àti ti fíléèjì kí gbogbo wọn kóra wọn lọ ilé gómìnà kọ́ má kú òǹbẹ̀ ọtí tí wọ́n bá rí i pé wọ́n mú gbogbo àwọn ẹlẹ́ṣọ́ ààbò kan lọ bá wọn lé àwọn tó ní wọn lára àjẹ bó ti jẹ́ Ọlọ́run ó gbà fún wa ojú òní ti wà.
Thanks so much. ẹ jẹ́ ká fún yín ní all the executive of Oyo State in case you don't know them. Let me mention them to you. Oyo State executive powers reside in the Executive Council, whose members comprise of the state governors as the chairman and the deputy governor, who are both elected for a 4-year tenure. The governor appoints other members of the State Executive Council, which include the secretary to the state government, the chief of staff, the head of service, commissioners, special advisor, DG due process. The executive arm is responsible for an implementation of programs of government as appropriated for by the legislature. Directly under the Executive Council is the State Economy Management Team that examines key issues of fiscal governance and makes proposal for consideration by the Executive Council, which has its meetings on a weekly basis. This program ends at 1 o'clock. There are many state ministries, extra ministries department, parastatals, and agency of the state government, commonly called state MDAs. These are headed by commissioners, special advisors, general managers, director generals, executive secretaries, or director as designated may apply. The question is, while all this happening, in your state, I mean, all these people that have, all these, names are, these parastatals that I've mentioned now, are they not part of your state anymore? I don't know. Now, let's look at the names and the position held. These are the people you should hold responsible for your life. Don't come on social media and be constituting nonsense and thinking that we are the problems. But a minimum run on your state. Am I the one running Ogun State? Am I your governor? Am I your deputy governor? Am I your commissioner for information? Your commissioner for information should be doing more than what we are doing by advising Yoruba people that àwọn tó ń pààyàn Boko Haram and the ISIS, they are currently in the forest. That is the job of your commissioner for information. But all you bomb bastard, you come here and be constituting nonsense on the social media. Those that you should be holding responsible, I'll mention their names now. Make I drink my apple juice. 1 o'clock, I end the program because I still have to get to the studio later in the evening. So I've got a long day to go. And I don't want to be stressed before my program in the evening. His Excellency Oluseyi Abiodun Makinde, the governor of Oyo State. That one is the governor. No, waiting to the governor. All liars. One bastard. All liars. Mumbo. Mokiwala Nkansi. Once again, we are only doing our best. So, if you become the information minister, I am the information distributor for Yoruba self-determination. I am not your information minister for Nigeria, okay? So you have Idris Mohammed, who will come and advise him where there's a problem in Nigeria, but they're not interested. So you're up to know the names. I'm going to give you the names now. The names of people that should be held responsible. So these are all the names. I've talked about the Seyi Makinde, the governor. Is also holding the president of the Executive Council. His Excellency Barrister Bayo Lawal is the deputy president of the Executive Council. Professor Olanike Kudirat Adeyemo, secretary to the state government. Mrs. Olubumi Omimi, head of service. Honorable Shegun Ogunwuyi, chief of staff. Mr. Biodun Aikomo, Attorney General Commissioner for Justice. Mr. Akinola Ojo, Commissioner for Finance. Alaja Fausat Jokesani, Commissioner for Special Duties. Honorable Abdulmojid Mogbon Jubola, Commissioner for Environment and Natural Resources. Dr. Oluwaserimi Adewumi Ajetumobi, Commissioner for Health. Professor Musibao Babatunde Adetunji, Commissioner for Budget and Economy Planning. Prince Dotun Oyelade, Commissioner for Information and Orientation. In Oyo State. I don't know what it does anyway. With social media. One bank limit withdrawal, the amount taken from ATM, outcome of the Anwolokan, Beni Alaja Lobade, Manchester. Commissioner for Information only can hold responsible for Bubunton Loni or your state. Come here, our Lema Demo. The Baloban Yenny Sama follow up by no Yemi. We go follow up by Payidano. Come on the social media, might disturb our neighbor. Don't bastards. You cannot go to your Commissioner for Information and say, what is going on in your state? Why are we being killed? You can't do that. Stupid people all over the place. Dr. Wasiu Olatubosun is a Commissioner for Culture and Tourism. Ben Alaja, our mama constitute nonsense. All your commissioners that you should go and hold responsible for your life in your state and other states, you won't do that, idiot. Commissioner for Culture and Tourism. Wasiu Olatubosun. Kilon Commission, Kilon Culture, Kilon Tourism. Who is going to come and do tourism in your state where people are being kidnapped? Making a joke. Barrister Olasukanmi Olaleye, Commissioner for Agriculture. Who really responsible? This one should be held responsible. These are the names that you should know. Igboho Ledimo. Shegbo Commissioner of Agriculture. Barrister Olasukanmi Olaleye. Kilon Barrister. Commissioner for Agriculture, Natural Resources and Rural Development. We're going to be mentioning and shaming them right now. I'm on my picture it. I'm on my basic tag on self. These are the ones that you should go and hold responsible. Honorable Ṣẹ́gun Ọláyíwọlá, Commissioner for Local Government and Chieftaincies Matter. Ìyẹn náà lè ṣe ní wọ́n fọba jẹ lọ́tún yọba. Kò tẹ̀ yéèyàn mọ̀gànsẹ̀. Ìbíláyà àtijọ́ wọn náà máa dífá ni. Wá dífá. Ifá sọ pé èèyàn bíi mélòó kan wọ́n wá bẹ̀rẹ̀ sí í yọ wọn. Barrister of nonsense. Ẹ máa wá sórí TikTok. Àwọn lè máa point. Ẹ lọ bá àwọn commissioner yín. Ẹ lọ bá wọn. Ní nọ́mbà àwọn concept. Àwọn ọ̀rẹ́ ń ṣe TikTok, wọ́n ń ṣe Facebook, wọ́n ń ṣe YouTube, báwa ṣe ń ṣe yìí. Mr. Moses Mokin, kí lẹ sọ, Mr. Olayomi Koiki, I should really commend you for all your unrelenting effort. Thank you so much. Kí la fi ṣe sí àtìgbà kàmú àtìgbà fọlọ́run. Àná dẹ̀ la celebrate ọba wa ní bíbá. Ibi àìlè mi ń gbé tó bá wẹ̀ ni kò sọ nípa ẹ̀. Torí ọba wa ni King Charles, ó pé 75 lánàá. Salute to the king. Ibi tẹ́mi ń gbé lélẹ̀. Ìwọ tó wà ń tàn tó bá wẹ̀ ni kò sọ sí. Èmi ò lè bu. Ìwọ lè bu. Bó bá pè wọlé gan tó bá fi bu máa gbẹnu ẹ̀ sàn. Good evening my brother, how work? Ẹnu iṣẹ́ náà mo ṣe wà báyìí. Ẹnu iṣẹ́ náà mo wà. Ṣé GoTV lẹ́ ń bá ṣiṣẹ́ ni? Wàsíù Sani GoTV. Ṣé GoTV lẹ́ ń bá ṣiṣẹ́? Mo kò wọ́n sanwó dáadáa fún yín. Bọ́lá Kàdé, Commissioner for Agriculture. Commissioner for Agriculture tẹ́ kẹ́ mú lọ wọnú igbó kí Fúlàní gan má tún sàn yẹn jáde lẹ́nu. Ó yẹ kẹ́ mú òun náà lọ sínú igbó. Commissioner for Agriculture ó yẹ kó máa wọnú igbó káàkiri tẹ̀lé yín. Ó yẹ kó máa wọnú igbó kí iṣẹ́ òun ni commissioner ń ṣe. I'm a commissioner for agriculture. Which commissioner for agriculture? Jókòó sí air condition. Ó ń commission ní agriculture láti inú yàrá ẹ̀. Dá kankan mọ̀. Àwọn ṣé ilé làwọn máa tẹ̀lé ṣá. Ìyẹn mo ṣe sọ pé politics àmàlà àti gbẹ̀gìrì tẹ́ ń ṣe ní. Ṣé mo tán náà kí ni ìrìn láì lọ? Kábíyèsí ọlọ́run ló ní kí láptọ̀pù kọ́ fún mi ní indication pé bátìrì ti lọ́lẹ̀. Mo tẹ̀ tán mọ́ sí gbogbo tí mo charge látẹ̀ nǹkan nígbà tí mo sí Nàìjíríà. Owó náà ló máa jẹ. Mo gbọ́dọ̀ lọ wá picture barrister yìí nísìn. Náà barrister Ọlásùnkànmí. Commissioner for Agriculture, Natural Resources tó ti gbà mọ́ yín lọ́wọ́ l'Ọ́yọ́ State. Eléyìí Commissioner for Agriculture Ọlásùnkànmí. Who the hell is he? Wọ́n náà ń pààyàn ní Ṣẹ̀pẹ̀tẹ̀rì. Àwọn olóyè kó máa kọ́kọ́ wọnú gbó lọ pẹ̀lú ọlọ́pàá. Mr. Koiki. Ṣọ̀pọ̀lọpọ̀ ọdún mọ̀. Mo mọ̀ pé ọmọ November ní ẹ̀pẹ́ fún wa. Happy birthday ma. Àwa ti celebrate King wa lánàá. Ọmọ Yorùbá kan dẹ̀ jẹ́ chief of staff ẹ̀. Ẹ̀rí ìyá ẹ̀ tó wọ gèlè láàrin wọn níbẹ̀. Tó bá wọn ní kí wọ́n sọ sí Charles kò sí tó kàn mí o. Ọba tiwa ní bíbá ilé mi ń gbé o. Bíbá ilé mi ń gbé. Bọ́lá Kàdé tí ó dágó kan mo fẹ́ parí ètò yìí. A ṣe ń bọ̀ nírọ̀lẹ́. Mrs. Tóyìn Balógun, Commissioner for Women Affairs, Community Development and Social Welfare. Àwọn commissioner tó máa wá wíṣẹ́ kọ́kọ́ fi kọ́lé tiẹ̀ náà. A dẹ̀ máa send àwọn ọmọ sí the nearest school tó bá dá. Má ṣe o. Ìyá ti jẹ wá. Ìyàkọ́ ní kí ló kan barrister pẹ̀lú ọ̀rọ̀ agriculture. Nàìjíríà nìyẹn. Oríṣiríṣi lẹ máa rí. We all study agriculture. Mr. Demola Ojo, a máa bá ṣe máa kárúkọ wọn lójoojúmọ́ nísìnyí gbogbo state. Ẹ ṣáà máa rán mi létí. Mr. Demola Ojo, Commissioner for Trade, Investment and Commerce. Ta ló máa wá kó trade at investment wá sọ Ọ̀yọ́ state ẹ ti ń pààyàn. Kò ń ṣẹ̀yìn aráàlú mo sọ àwọn terrorist tó ń pààyàn. Tó ń yọrí èèyàn bọ̀. Ta ló tún wà ń bẹ̀? Honorable Adeniyi Adebisi gbogbo wọn honorable. Bẹ́ẹ̀ ni gbogbo àwọn ọmọ wọn ti wà labroad. Àwọn tó ti gbọ́n ti fa àwọn ọmọ wọn sí private school so that ní rí wọn. Ní rí wọn ní public school àfi tó bá jẹ́ òmùgọ̀ ló máa tún fún ọ̀kan lọ́wọ́. Àwọn kan stupid nínú wọn. Wọ́n lè ní alájà ẹ bá máa tọ́jú ọmọ mi. Kẹ bá fi sí school ní London. Mo ti gbọ́ bẹ́ẹ̀ some of the commissioners and some of the politicians nílé. Àwọn fẹ́ máa ṣe fàájì ní Nàìjíríà. Wọ́n fi kọ́ ọmọ kan sí lọ́wọ́. Kẹ wá máa bá wọn tọ́jú ọmọ rẹ̀ ló difficult jù láti tọ́jú nílùú yìí. Àwọn fẹ́ máa lọ kọ́ fẹ́ máa bọ̀. Àwọn lọ fọmọ há síbì kan. Àwọn tó bá dẹ̀ fi hánà àwọn náà máa ń gbà nǹkan lọ́wọ́ wọn ni o. Ẹlẹ́ ní èrè àwọn fún mi ní bí i 1,000 every month. Honorable Adeniyi Adebisi, Commissioner for Establishment and Training. Kí ló ń train? Establishment náà dà lọ́yọ̀ state lẹ́nìí. Ẹ máa tàn wọ́n yín. Ta ló tún kù ń bẹ̀? Mr. William Akinfunmilayo, Commissioner for Land, Housing and Survey. Àwọn ilé ti talẹ̀ dànù. Mr. Williams, talẹ̀ ń talẹ̀ fún. Ṣáwọn ọmọ Igbo lẹ̀ ń ta fún àbáwọn ọmọ Yorùbá. Àbẹ́ ń ta fún àwọn ọmọ Hausa. Àwọn honorable Ewédú gbogbo, they are spoil their children. Bẹ́ẹ̀ ni. Àwọn tẹ́ kẹ́ mú lélẹ̀ ẹ̀ ní mú. Ẹlòmí ò mọ Commissioner for Land. Kò gbọ́rí, kò gbórúkọ ẹ̀rí. But ó mọ Koiki ó dẹ̀ mọ Ìgbòho. Our comments ibẹ̀ á ní na you push Ìgbòho, bomb bastard. Òun lè nífẹ̀ẹ́ fún lójoojúmọ́ láti abroad. Mo ti jẹun nísìn. Mo ti jẹ baked beans. Mo ti jẹ baked beans àti bread. Mo ti máa pùdù. Kí tó tún jáde nílé, màá tún top up oúnjẹ tí máa jẹ. Torí mo gbọ́dọ̀ wọlé dé wá jẹun níta. Mo bá jẹun níta gan sef. Olójú. Commissioner for Land. Kí ló ń land? Wọ́n ti ta gbogbo lẹ́yìn dànù. Eléyìí náà Commissioner for Land, Housing Survey and Urban Development. Mo lọ sí Lusham lánàá. In 20 years, mo fẹ́ lè dábẹ́ yẹn mọ̀. Ti develop pa. Ilé tó jẹ́ kó ṣe kí ni wọ́n ti dáwó, wọ́n ti kọ́ skyscraper sókè, gbé gym sísàlẹ̀, àwọn consent system. A sì ní Ọ̀yọ́ state, ẹ sì ń kọ́lé àwọn ilé amọ̀, ilé páànù, ilé nonsense system. Àwọn kan kọ́lé gidi o, má knock gbogbo ẹ̀ off. Ilé tí ò lè lo lift dé 15th floor. Mo kí ẹ jàre Ọlánipẹ̀kun gbogbo Ifọ̀. Màá try láti pẹ̀ tí bá parí ètò ṣàlàáfíà ló wà. Ọlọ́run bá ń dúró tiẹ̀. Àná àwọn commissioner. Kí ló ń commission? Àwọn wicked bomb bastards. Ti báyé jẹ́. No commissioner. Commissioner for Land. Àní mo dé ìlú Sàmàlájà. Mo fẹ́ lè máa dààmú. Tó bá ṣe pé èèyàn ti pẹ́ nílùú ìní. Ẹlòmíì gan máa wò wípé ṣé lè ṣẹ̀dẹ̀ ṣe you just arrived from Africa? But wàá náà ti wo body language pé ilé yóò ṣẹ̀dẹ̀. I was quite amazed. The rapid development tó wà ní Lusham mo rí rẹ̀. Kí ló wà níbẹ̀ pé kẹ́ kọ́lé kẹ́ gbé lift síbẹ̀? Wọ́n lè kọ́lé sí Ifọ̀, ìwọ tó ń wò mí láti Ifọ̀. Ṣé wọ́n lè kọ́lé ilé 20 floor kí lift lọ sókè tí wọ́n ní múná lọ? Bomb bastard. Floor tó máa lọ sí 24, 27 tí lift máa gbé lọ gbogbogbogbogbogbogbò ibi tí development dé nìyẹn. Ìwọ sì wà níbi ẹ̀ ń kọ́ bungalow tẹ́ ń kọ́ tó bá yàgbẹ́ gọ́sẹ̀ tẹ́ bá flush á tún dá padà wá sí pálọ̀. Nàìjíríà lọ máa bẹ́ẹ̀ kọ́lé o gbọ́dọ̀ tún wá nǹkan tó máa lọ tún ṣe níbẹ̀ ni. Gbogbo ilẹ̀ ti experience. Bàtà ní training kò sí ẹni tó ń vet nǹkan kan, kò sí ẹni tó ń check, kò sí local government tó ń check anything. Kò kọ́lé gbágá. Èèyàn akọ́lé. Gbogbo àwọn ilé tó wà ní ṣítà yẹn ó yẹ kó ti da gbogbo ẹ̀ wó. Pam! Ó yẹ kí Lagos State ti dáwó kó wá kọ́ ti gbàlódé síbẹ̀. Ìgbà tó yẹ pé igbó lẹ̀ ń tà ní gbogbo bẹ̀ cocaine. Mo ṣeré o. Confirm ni mo sọ fún yín o. Gbogbo ṣítà yẹn cocaine ló ń tà níbẹ̀. Tó bá ní mò ń parọ́ ẹni kọjá mi àwọn tó ń gbé níbẹ̀. Drugs ló ń ṣe ní gbogbo bẹ̀ yẹn. Bomb bastard. Ẹ ti sọ gbogbo àwọn ọmọ wa di drug addict tán. Ẹni ṣoríire. Àwa ń pariwo pé ká dá dúró, ká lè reform, ká gbé develop. Ṣé àwọn ilé máa gbé development wá báyìí? Bomb bastard. Gbogbo Sùúrùlérè yẹn drugs ni. Báwọn ọmọ Ìgbò ṣe ń tà láwọn ọmọ Yorùbá náà rà lọ́wọ́ wọn. Ìbẹ́jọ́ ń tà ayẹjọ́ ń ṣe ni. Bá a sọ fún báwọn ọmọ Ìgbò kan. Gbogbo ìjọ ń tà ayẹjọ́ ń ṣe ni. Ẹ lọ wo Nedu mo wò lánàá. Gbogbo industry drugs ló wà níbẹ̀. Drugs ní ọkàn fi I'm a skit maker wèrè. Skit tó ń ra Range Rover. Níbo ló ti rówó yẹn? Bomb bastards. Ìlú òṣì. Ìlú tó tíyàn kọ́kàn lè ìyàn Nàìjíríà ló lè account I'm a billionaire, I'm a millionaire. Níbo ló ti rówó? Níbo ló ti rí owó? Ó sọ fún wa. Mo rí Prince Kobana pẹ̀lú Imo State. Èmi ò tẹ́ mi tètè dámọ̀. Ẹ̀rùn kí mi ò ń dá gbogbo wọn mọ̀. Èmi ò mọ celebrity kan lọ títí. Ìyàwó mi bá ń sọ pé mo mọ ilé ni òun àti Davido jọ máa ń káàkiri àṣẹ òun náà ń support Hope Uzodinma bomb bastard. ó kọ́ ẹ̀ pé àwọn tó wà nílé tí ara wọ̀ lè gbá ni yóò bá ṣe bẹ́ẹ̀ ni ara wọ̀ gbá ni ẹ̀rọ látàárọ̀ nísìn àti dìde orí ìjókòó yìí lẹ́yìn aṣọ tí mo change àbẹ̀rẹ̀ program àtúntúnṣe wá tó dúró látún padà bọ̀ inú òtútù àwọn tí máa wá àwa lè máa wá lè dì mọ́ ẹ lè dì mọ́ àwọn commissioners yìí wọ́n bí bàbá yín dákẹ́lẹ́ lọ dì mọ́ àwọn tí mo dárúkọ àwọn tèmi dárúkọ wọn kò ní dá fún wọn èmi lè tọ́ bá wá London máa sọ fún wọn pé wọn ò ní ṣoríire tó ń fìyà jẹ wá òun náà wọn agriculture minister kìíní kan commissioner gbogbo wọn nísìnyí lọ máa ń sá fún wa wọn bastard. àní Sanwó-Olú wá ṣe nǹkan ní Lagos State wọn gbọ́ pé àwọn Lagos State Union ẹgbẹ́ tó ti wà for 30 years governor ló máa ń jẹ́ representative tó máa ń jẹ́ patron wọn wọ́n sọ fún wọn pé wọ́n ń ṣe event tó involve Lagos State ní London. Can you imagine that? ìyẹn Sanwó-Olú ló point to finger point nìyẹn bẹ́ẹ̀ tó fi mẹ́ja nínú odò one bastard ó ní òun wá investor ní London ó lè lọ fi ń jà ó lè ní gbogbo gbajàgbà lọ àwọn rẹ̀ fi máa fóònù ẹ mọ̀ pé màá ti ń gbogbo alamọ́ra dáadáa lórí títì ní London bíbáyìí wọ́n ṣe investment òṣìwò lẹ́ ń ṣe investment àtàlẹ́ fi máa fún gbẹ̀ǹ ṣe investment one bastard bolúkàlùkù kọ̀ fi ń pa wọ́dà náà ni wọ́n ń gbé investment kan wá. ṣèbí PID tó ṣe parí nísì ṣèbí àwọn yẹn wọ́n fẹ́ gbowó lọ́wọ́ Nàìjíríà ni wọ́n ṣe nǹkan kan wọ́n dẹ̀ fi gbowó kọ́dẹ̀ tó gba contract yẹn náà wọ́n bribe síbi bribe sọ Tiwa Danjuma náà wọ́ọ̀ clean one bastard ẹ jẹ́ ṣé gèmó yóò yà ta ló tún kù bẹ́ẹ̀ jáde ká tó máa lọ olùṣọ́nà àwọn kọmíṣọ́nà àtẹ̀tísọ àwọn tó wà ní kíní ló máa ń pa àwọn yẹn àwọn representative ní mo lè 10 minutes ẹ̀ ló kù mo ní láti lọ nísìn gbọmọ kàdé Mr. William Akinfunmilayo no commissioner for land ti ta gbogbo lẹ̀ dànù one bastard. Professor Daudu Kehinde kí lẹ́yìn ṣe commissioner for works and transport gbogbo èyí jagbajagba gbogbo àwọn micra tẹ́ǹgùn káàkiri nílùú Ìbàdàn bẹ́ẹ̀ èèyàn mẹ́fà ṣé mẹ́ta ló máa ń jókòó síwájú. Honourable Wasilat Adegoke Adefemi commissioner for youth sports ẹ máa tọ́ra yín. Mrs. Tara Adefope director general Bureau of Public Procurement ibi tó wà gangan nìyẹn ìyẹn kan ní Nigeria is a setback ó ju setback gan lọ tẹ bá torí òyìnbó mi láti bá mi lò tó bá dẹ̀ sọ̀rọ̀ nísìn àwọn olóṣì àwọn civil servant àwọn yẹn ti di done ṣẹ́rí Mrs. Tarai àwọn yẹn ló mọ ibi tó wà gangan Bureau of Public Procurement ibi tó wà nìyẹn àwọn ló tún kù níbẹ̀ kí ló ń tender contract award Bureau of Public Procurement BPP port orí website Ọ̀yọ́ state government mo wà yìí àwọn ló tún wà ń bẹ̀ the legislatures àwọn olè speaker honourable Edward Adébọ̀dé Ògúndóyè speaker orí ọ̀pẹ ṣé ò gbọ́ pé wọ́n pààyàn ní sẹ́pẹ̀tẹ̀rì wèrè ó náà honourable Adédébọ̀ bomb bastard ní gbogbo yẹn ní ṣoríire wọ́n ń pa àwọn èèyàn wa ẹ̀yin olùṣèyìn náà ṣe speaker ẹ̀yin ṣe honourable ẹ̀yin ṣe house of rep ẹ̀yin olùṣì ta ló bá wọnú gbó pẹ̀lú àwọn ọlọ́pàá àti sójà ẹ̀ wá ń wá àwọn ọmọ Yorùbá nation tó máa kówó lẹ̀ tá a máa ní káwọ́ lọ fúnra rẹ̀ lọ wá pa ṣe gèsì yín lára ṣèbí inú lókà lọ ti ń pa wọn orígbà tó wá sójú títì. Honourable Abiodun Muhammed Fadeyi Honourable Ọ̀nàpọ̀ Sanjo Adédoyin majority leader kí ló majority leader one bastard ta ló tún wà ń bẹ̀. Honourable Ọlásùnkànmí Samson Babalọ́lá èyí tó bá dẹ̀ ṣe dáadáa jẹ́ ká mọ̀ nù wọn. Honourable Yusuf Ọládẹni Adébísí Honourable Akíntúndé position held Honourable Ọ̀jẹ̀dọ̀kun Peter Gbadéjẹsìn eléyìí kọ́ lọ ní bàbá kan bàbá ẹ̀ jẹ́ ló ń bá Fúlàní ṣe àwọn Gbadéjẹsìn mò ń gbọ́ tọmọ olùkàn sọ níjọ́ ní Ògúndáre Abídèmí Adéoyè Michael Olúbísí Margaret Ògúnṣọlá Anthony Ọládẹ̀jọ Akíntóyè Waheed Kọ́láwọlé Azeez Akíntọ́lá Musbau Salami all the bomb bastards Honourable ṣù tébù bó ṣe wà yẹn ẹ máa tanra yín. Mo kí ogun ọmọ Yorùbá mi lágo 6 kọ́lọ́n bá ní kẹ́ jẹ́ ká túnjọ pàdé kò ní sú wa kò ní rẹ̀ wá tí wọ́n bá náà fẹ́ Yorùbá nation ẹ lọ dúró ti Nàìjíríà ta ló dì ẹ mú kò fẹ́ àwọn tá à ń ṣe Yorùbá nation sílẹ̀ ká máa kígbe ṣèbó ní online social media là ń pariwo jẹ́ ká máa pariwo kíyà máa jẹ́wọ́ at least àwa wà òkè torí pé mo ti jẹun nísìnyí ṣe ń belch ti jẹun dáadáa màá lọ kẹsẹ̀ sókè màá relax wá ṣe díẹ̀ àbọ̀sọ́nà pàdé mi mo kí gbogbo èèyàn gidi mo salute yín níbí mo salute yín lókè kámẹ́rà mélòó la tàn 1 2 3 4 5 6 àdẹ̀tún wà lórí Twitter space àwọn Igbo ló máa ń wà pẹ̀lú mi lórí Twitter space I greet you now all hail Biafra woto make I go rest I don talk come back again in the evening ó tẹ̀ kí n play ti Sowore yẹn kí tó máa lọ ni let's go and play Sowore ká gbọ́ nǹkan tí Sowore sọ Sowore ti sọ fún yín pé revolution na revolution woto ẹ jẹ́ máa lọ jàre máa play Sowore later bí ẹ máa play nírọ̀lẹ́. Thank you so much. Sorry, I can't bring anybody in. I got to go now. Salute to you, Chief Oka. We've sent 100%. Thank you so much. I love Biafra. Yoruba people don't fight me with the Biafra. Say, what thing that they do with Biafra? Bomb bastard. You don't like them. Let them go. You don't like the Igbos. We don't like each other. Let them go. That is my argument. All this one way now they fight, corner, and they go steal our. Okay, let them go so that they don't go steal in our land. Bomb bastard. Let them go. Let Tinubu let them go. So me and you make we stay with the Bororo, make they kill us, make they rape us. Let the Igbo goes. Kuku like Arawa, see unity. We don't love them, they don't love me. Then let everybody go. Self-determination. I don't understand Yoruba people. And if like our Igbo, our Gole can support become a law. We don't want to be part of them. They are this, they are okay. I agree. Let them go. We don't like them. But the same Yoruba people, you don't want me to go. But you want to hold them accountable for atrocity to this and label them like that. No, could it work? Could it work? You must let them go. We don't look. Okay, I hate the Igbo. Let them go. One bastard. Can't see Yoruba people, they attack me every day. On top of this Biafra, where they support. Any shoriri. Let them go. Let everybody go their separate ways. We don't like each other. Let the Igbo go or the Biafra, whichever one. Let them go so that we can seal Lagos State and tell them that to use Lagos State, it belongs to us. But as long as you're in Nigeria, okay, everybody own Nigeria. Benny. They say no man owns Lagos State. Okay, let them go so that we cannot say now we get Lagos State. Oloshi. Let them go. Let everybody go their separate ways. Allow the Biafra to go so that we can deal with them even better. Just as the British, they deal with the people where they don't want me to come to this country. Even when I go Saudi Arabia, now they send them come back home. One bastard. Muslim ticket. Tinubu Day Saudi Arabia, they disrespect Muslim. We don't like the way you are aligning with Biafra. We love Yoruba nation, but you are like Oloshi. Who say I know your papa? I don't know anybody for this movement too, apart from my wife and my mom. One bastard and Igbo and Babakitoye. Babakitoye he called me when I was on Starr Radio. It's a privilege. So I tell me, you don't like them, let them go. Self-determination is not a crime. If the Biafra are using armed struggle right now, that is their case. It's not our own. Let them go. I'm bastard. And I go race destroy. Are they alive when I go race don't die? What they concern me with that? You know, not talk about the one where British join us together. They talk about the regional world government where I go race destroy. Yoruba people. One bastard. I will deal with you on that Twitter space. We did together. The one way I know one say, I go block your head off. Just like, I don't know, say that the freeze, they block people as well. That the freeze, they London. I don't know whether I don't return to Nigeria. They abuse that the freeze, where they London, where they Chelsea, an apartment, they enjoy. They abuse her, Olushi. Clement, aside to my brother, Omo Biafra, every month, Clement pay me salary. It may be because of that, I go to shout Biafra. Oh, hey, Biafra. And I don't tell you, Chichis, I go come Canada, come chop Isewu. Shout out to everyone. Have a very good afternoon. My name is Olayomi Koiki. Bye for now. Kilo, so I know you and Chief Akitoye for this structure. Actually, Jariola ni pe kon so later. Bye for now. Ma pe ti ba ṣe tán nísìn. Mo kí ogbo yín ní bíbá yo. Àtúpàdé later. Bye for now. Tèmi ló